This is the Broodcast, Inkling-style Discord chat, last Friday of every month. To join, visit joshuadavidling.com/brood. And now, Operation Broodcast on Poets at War.
We're lion, witch, and wardage, yeah. Our imagination's running wild and free. In Middle Earth or Narnia, there's magic in what we believe.
That's what I thought. Yep. What's up, Kyrith?
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing okay. How about you?
Good, good. Not bad, not
Doing
bad.
well.
Brendan working late?
Yeah. Three nights in a row this week.
Sheesh. That's rough.
Yeah, but it's actually nice in the morning though, when it's like we can we don't have to get up quickly. Like we don't have to get up early or anything. So
yep. And if you're quiet enough, maybe Tristan will sleep in for a few minutes.
yeah, sometimes. Not as much as he used to.
Yeah. Little boys tend to get up like right as soon as they feel any sense of sunlight, rhythm, whatever. They're just like, time to go.
And I think him sleeping on the mattress instead of in a crib, like on the one hand, it's nice for us because we can just sort of like lay next to him if we have, like if he's has a cold. But the problem is in the pack and play, he might put himself back to sleep because he can't get out of bed. But I don't know. It's so hard to know what's better to use.
Yeah, I know it. Boys are a lot harder in that regard just because they're so driven to act, you know? So Peter is definitely that way and has been that way. But yeah. Cam, what was it, the channel you were talking about, Alex?
Cam Sandwich.
Cam Sandwich.
K-A-M Sandwich.
2 words.
One word.
1 word. Okay. All right.
But he does board game reviews in one of the funniest delivery styles I've ever seen. Like he is up there with Ryan George pitch meeting level humor. Completely different type of humor, but up there in quality. Just super fun.
So like kind of like JonTron or something, right?
No, like as I said, completely different type of humor, but that level of quality.
Yeah. JonTron's one of those guys that like I never care about what he's talking about at all whatsoever, but he just makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah. He does he has a 2-video series on the longest board games of all time.
Okay.
He starts with the board games that take between 8 and 10 hours. And then moves to the board games between 10 and 24 hours, and then between 24 and 50 hours. And then he gets into the longest board game of all time, which still does not have a confirmed finishing of the game, even though it came out in the 1970s.
Oh, goodness.
It is called The Campaign for North Africa, The Desert War, 1941 to 43. It is a real-time war game following the campaign for North Africa in World War II. So you play 10 hours per turn, 1 turn a week. And it will take you 3 years to get through.
Oh, good gracious.
It is amazing.
That is nutty. Oh, man. So let's see. I did have, and I'm more so saying this for the recording, but I did have 2 people try to read for Broodcast earlier this week on video, and I told both of them that I would probably show it to the people live and we'd get live feedback in the room and that kind of a thing. But 2 things happened. One, with the first one, was Joel. First of all, he's going to be here tonight. He had D&D cancel, so he's just going to read again. But I had a technical difficulty with his recording. And then with Amanda Pizzolato, who was in here yesterday, she more so had ideas, and she had 3 ideas she wanted feedback on. We had a decent number of people and gave feedback then, and like I said, there was some weirdness with recording. I can use what I have, it just wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. And because her ideas were kind of interspersed with other people popping in and out, I think I'm just going to edit hers as sort of like the beginning of the Broodcast, and then edit into the second day like I did before. And so people can hear it on the recording and give feedback. So yeah. But yeah, so people are starting to at least anticipate Broodcast week and read beforehand, which is cool. That's going well. Did you ever get through last month's Poets at War?
I did not. I was actually going to today, and then ended up getting having stuff come up.
Where are you stuck at?
Oh no, I didn't start yet.
Oh, okay. You haven't started it yet. Okay.
Yeah, as I said, I was going to listen to it today, and ended up having other stuff come up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. No, I understand. I've been busy with all kinds of stuff. I actually talked about the one I've been writing recently. I've been trying to break the season for Lady of the Mat, which is sort of my send up to the female ring technician versus the showman female. But also in Japan. So it's like my send up to Japanese wrestling too. And I have it probably about 70% of the way broken, and it is way deeper than I ever expected. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is coming along way better than I ever expected, because the main character, Alyssa Kwan, she's kind of bland on the, like, just on a surface level wrestling character, because her character she's an unbelievable technician, like way better than anybody. She is the best female wrestler ever for all intents and purposes, if you're literally just talking in-ring work. And I don't want to do like a joke that she's boring. I want it to be like she's driven to become the best and do that story, and it's turning out way better than I ever expected. So yeah, that's been fun. But I'll be reading from Beauty and the Big Dog tonight again. Are you or Kyrith reading anything tonight?
I can run some ideas past you guys, past whoever shows up, because I'm working on crafting an RPG storyline for Fallout RPG, that jazz. So I've got some ideas that I want to throw out, but I need some more solid hooks and like jumping off into deeper sections of the world and stuff like that.
Sweet.
So I can totally run that.
I will definitely be giving you a spot then. I think Kara's probably away from keyboard, but we'll see.
I'm here.
No, okay. Did you want a slot tonight?
I think I might, if it's not, I don't know. I couldn't really get anything, so
Well, being a maybe is perfectly fine. If you just want to talk about what you're thinking about, that's perfectly fine too. So we'll put you as a maybe, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. I think Abby said she's going to be here. Abby Adams. I'm not sure who else is confirmed. Jesse said he can't, except he may pop in very much later. He's got a deadline. I'm guessing Ian's going to be here, but I'm not sure. Daniel is not. Abigail, if she shows up, will be late. So that's kind of where we're at. As far as things go, right now. Oh, Joel as well. Joel will be here supposedly. Let me text him while we're at it. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Let's see. But what else has been on y'all's minds? Anybody?
I mean, we've had a ridiculously insane week.
Yeah, what's been
Or-
insane about it? Just work or what?
Bunch of stuff, but I was saying like broadly insane week throughout
Well, yeah.
the culture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like-
With Vody and the past couple months even, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey there, Joel.
Hello.
Hello.
What's
Hi.
up, dude? Continue what you were saying, Alex.
Yeah, just like insane month, really.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
Yep.
So sad to hear about Vody passing yesterday.
Yep, me too. He's been having heart stuff for a long time, though. I've known
Yeah.
that for a long time.
Yep.
The what's it called? Be in prayer on the 2 hurricanes we have down here in the off the coast. One is pretty much hitting Charleston right now, I think, or really close to hitting Charleston.
Okay.
So not terribly far, like 3 hours away, whatever, but it just depends on the path and how strong each of them get and all that stuff. So
And we can pray for my wife too. Guess what she's doing tonight?
what's she
What?
doing tonight?
Camping.
Oh, cool.
It is raining hard right now. Is she
Oh.
close? Is she local?
She's over in Lincolnton at the lake. It's the Cub Scouts. Yeah.
Oh, not fun. No cabins or
Yeah.
just tents? No cabins, I'm guessing, just tents.
Nope. It's intense.
Oh, goodness. That's not going to be fun.
Nope. But the kids are having a blast. It's a bit.
Oh, I'm
So
sure
here's
they
the thing. Benjamin's done it. This is the Weeble Read, and Benjamin's done it twice. And Amelia hasn't got to go yet because it's only for a specific age group. So this is her
Mhm.
first year doing it, and she was all excited. So Amanda's stuck, and she will not say no.
Goodness.
She will not tell that little girl no.
Mhm.
It's too wet. We need to go home. She just won't do it.
Yeah.
It has rained every year they've done this trip, and
Yeah, Georgia's rainy in late September. That's just the way it is.
and I have to work. So, haha.
Yep. So,
Oof.
Joel, you'll be reading the same stuff tonight, or are you gonna mix it up?
Yeah, I'll read
or
it
what?
again. I did some editing on it, and
Uh-huh.
when you read something, you could pick up little bits, and so
Mhm.
maybe you'll hear a little difference.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, it'll be
Nothing
more fresh in your
radical.
mind for reading. Sounds good.
I got something cool to share with the Brood. I'm going to post it in the Brood.
Cool.
Okay.
I got my
In
third
the
picture done.
Messenger.
Yeah,
Your third what?
my third
Ooh.
illustration.
Very nice. Love it. Y'all see it?
I'm checking.
Let's see if I can. Do.
That's
Just
the
do that
captain
one
of the
right there.
alien ship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cool.
I have a very talented gentleman working with me for
Oh, I didn't
illustrations.
have my camera on. I was sitting here holding it up to the camera. There we go. But yeah.
Oh wow.
So, yep, it looks really, really good.
I can share it here too, I guess.
Yes, you can in the chat if you want to. I'll make sure it gets in the video part. But yeah. So that's really awesome. So you have just the 3 illustrations in the book, or are you going to be getting more?
Oh, I'm going to be getting more. It's just that one got done last night.
Yeah. Oh, that looks so good.
Wow.
Very, very nice.
I'll post the other 2 just so you have them here in this chat. If I
Yep,
can find
I'll show
them.
those as well. I've been working on trying to get these recordings and things we're doing actually to be, some of them, not all of them, live. But I want to do them proper and multi-stream, and so I've been learning something called Raycast. You've probably heard of Raycast, right, Alex?
I think I have.
Yeah, it's
I think
basically
that's
like
what
a spot.
LTT is used.
Yeah, it's basically Spotlight on Apple Spotlight on steroids.
Yeah.
And one of the things it has is persistent text snippets that you can basically take to a keyboard shortcut, and I'm going to take that and rework it to a Stream Deck command in order to have all my stream keys and stuff ready to go, so I don't have to do near as much. So yeah, this
Cool.
is the reflection one, which I think looks really cool. This is the first time you said your artist ever did a reflection.
Yeah, he knocked it out of the park.
He sure did.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then this one here with the, what was his name again? The monkey type guy? Monkey looking guy?
The race is a quark, and his name is Swing. It's not his name,
Swing,
that's his nickname.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember like, yeah.
That's his. I'm sneaking away for something very important. I heard there was chocolate around here.
Yes. Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Very, very good pictures. Love it. The way he does, the way he textures fur and hair is absolutely stunning.
It is.
Wow.
So, yeah. Love that. Love that. So, well, it is about 20 minutes after. Do we want to start reading, or do we want to wait another 10?
I'd say wait another 10, see if anybody else shows up.
Why not? Why not? We're having fun here. I need to pull up mine anyway while we're talking. Let's see. You doing okay, sweetie? She's over here laying next to me.
Yeah, my potatoes didn't come out good at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. She said her potatoes didn't come out good at all. She did air fried potatoes, and she usually does a good job, but she said they weren't good this time.
I'm sorry.
So that stinks.
I'm actually working on potatoes right now as well. Just steak fries.
Working on potatoes now too. Steak fries. Let's see here. Are you going to do the pizza thing you were planning on?
I was just gonna eat this and that was fine, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I
well,
show
if
you the
do, that's
picture we
fine.
got at Arts in the Heart?
I think you showed me. Do you want to show which one?
So you know the picture of the girl with the pearl earring?
Yeah.
So we
maybe.
found a vendor who took famous photos or paintings like that one, or The Last Supper, American Gothic, and all these other pictures. And he redid them with pets.
Nice. That's fun.
Wow.
American Gothic was Dalmatians. He did one with Greyhound. It was awesome. He did several with cats. It was, my wife went nuts.
That's great.
That's fun.
See if I can get my market working here.
Ooh, we got two really good ones tonight. Oh, fun. Tonight's going to be good for mine. I didn't realize I had these two tonight. These two
What are they?
You haven't heard them, I don't think. You haven't gotten very far in World of Wrestling, have you?
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't really spoil them. One's a match, and then one is sort of mostly the conclusion of the Josh from a couple of years earlier with Anne that I've been building up to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So those are good ones. Good poetry, too. I remember writing YOY, which is the second one. That's what it's called, YOY. Like the word Y, and then the word OH, and then Y, YOY. And yeah, I remember being like, oh, I love this one. So that's good.
I will say, I haven't been sleeping well the last couple nights, so I'm not going to stay on the whole thing because
Okay.
we tend to run pretty late.
We do. You do what you need to do. It's not a problem.
Are you wanting to get off early enough that you want to go first?
I wouldn't mind going first, but I'm not demanding first spot.
Okay. I have no problem with you going first. We got 7 minutes, or we can start either way, but I was gonna try and stretch it to 8:30, see if anyone else showed up, and go from there. I am gonna text Ian though, just to see if he's gonna be on tonight, because he's usually here.
Man, no one's cameras open.
Do what? Mine should be on.
Yours is on, but yours aren't. So that's the recording there thing. I forgot about that one.
One sec.
Yeah. That's Craig. Yep. He's my backup audio recorder.
There we are. Hello.
Hello, friend. Are you at your house?
No, mom and dad's.
I gotcha.
Hello.
Hello, Ian. He's getting sound and all that going. But I'm sure he's got stuff. He said he was going to be getting back to a little bit of Fred, I think. So
heck yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Fred was one of my favorite characters in that thing.
Yep, Fred is great.
So Josh, I'm going to
Hello,
share to
Ian.
you
Yeah, what are you sharing to me?
the file that I'm going to read so that you
Okay.
can put it wherever you can put it so that people can see it.
Okay, I can try to do that, yeah. If anyone else wants to do that, they can. I could probably do that with mine. I just need to play around with the way it's displayed, which is fine. I can do that. Anyway, what's going on, Ian?
Well, I'm almost disappointed at this point because I write, it's like I have this story of these cool giant space spiders and these space wizards and the little kid with the sword, and everybody's like, yeah. I want to hear more about the cat.
Exactly.
Oh, but that's the thing. You keep the cat. The cat is the carrot on the end of the stick. You still have a horse. You still have a carriage. You still have all the rest of the situation that's being pulled by the cat, right? And so you only give the people a little bit of the cat at a time, just to keep them satisfied.
It's like that. It's like that meme that's Atlas holding up the Earth, and the Earth is the entire story, and Atlas is the cat.
Oh,
It's like a D&D where you. It's like a D&D where you build an entire city for them to interact with, and they only want to talk to one NPC that you didn't even come up with a name for.
Yep, exactly. And then you have to go track. What's his name? Fillmore.
Bob?
Oh boy.
I'm trying to remember where I left off in Heart of the Stars. I am. What did I read last?
I remember Fred being in the suit and then blasting off, but that might be further back. Not really sure.
That's further on because I've rewritten so much of the story now. That's like that's chapter 11 or chapter 12, I think.
I missed last Broodcast, so I don't know where anybody is in anything.
I think I just read about the Dinosaur Valley last time.
Yes.
Well, that
yes,
was this week.
You did.
That was this week. Yeah.
No, that was last time. Remember, he did
Was
the whole.
No, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. Yeah, because I've cut clips of it. Yeah, you did the Dinosaur Valley thing. Yeah.
Explorers going into the valley, and there were dinosaurs. What was lost
Yes.
situation? And they found the meteor.
Yeah, I
See,
remember
those clips
that.
are helpful. Yeah. See, the clips are helpful. That I'm clipping and everything. People remember
I
stuff
got
like
served one of your clips on X earlier this week.
that. Good. Yeah.
So
Good. Very good.
I also got served a clip of a indie wrestler who's apparently doing stuff right now, who dresses as Jesus and wrestles without actually touching anybody.
Okay.
Kind of funny.
That sounds about right. Oh my goodness. One of the best things you can look up as far as that kind of wacky wrestling, there's a guy named he did this years ago. He's this wrestler named Kenny Omega. He's one of the greatest wrestlers ever on a technical level. Unbelievable wrestler. But he did a match with a 12-year-old girl in Japan and absolutely tore the house down. Like it was ridiculous how amazing the match was, because he's just that good. Like he can have a great match with a broom. You know what I mean? Like, and so that was just really cool to see.
Wasn't there a guy that did a match with a dummy and lost? And it was great.
I've seen that. I've also seen people do matches against the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
And do just an absolute amazing job. I've seen someone give themselves like a flipping pile driver, the Canadian Destroyer. You know, like anyway, go ahead.
I mean, I'm sorry, I just can't get into that. It's like, if there's no actual combat, then what's the point of watching?
Well, the thing with that is it's like stunts, like a movie for me. Like there is a point in watching Bruce Willis, you know, doing his thing in Die Hard and whatnot. So like there's fun action in that regard. But the stuff I'm talking about is like the stuff that it's really comedy wrestling, right? Like comedy wrestling is a whole other genre of wrestling. That
it's like watching the Three Stooges.
No, I really do like comedy wrestling. But it's not like my primary thing, you know, as far as wrestling.
Yes.
People are saying goodnight right now with Mama, and then I'm going to get things started. What I think the docket looks like right now is Joel first, and then either Ian or Alex, depending on how long Alex's thing is. Kyrith is a maybe. I'm happy to be slotted in wherever, whenever, like Shakira.
That was a lot of salt.
I got Joel with that one. Everyone always does hips don't lie jokes with Shakira. I like to pull out whenever, wherever, occasionally. But yeah. So, all right.
How much of mine did you want me to read? Remember, because I had several stopping points.
You came in on the actual timeline when I looked at it at 18 minutes. I don't have a problem with you going that long.
Oh, really? That was it?
Yeah, it was 18 minutes. You can decide how long you want to go. And just kind of gauge as best as you can, because people are on camera. You should be able to gauge a little bit of how people are going. I'll stop you if it's getting real. Yeah. I'll and if you want to like actually be like, want me to keep going, that's fine. Or you can just lean on me, and I'll do my best to, you know, help with that. I'm not sure who all will be
more exciting as it goes.
Right.
Do not judge my expression, because I am always doing other things during Broodcast, so my interest does not show.
But as far as that goes, we're probably going to have other people popping in and out. I'm not really sure, but I just have a feeling that we're going to have some people popping in and out. And yeah, so if there's nothing else, we'll turn it over to Joel and he can do what he's doing. Let me pull that up real quick though, the document that you sent, and get this set up real quick. I'm going to actually try and do that for people who want me to do it and see how it goes. You sent it to the Joshua David Ling one, correct?
I think so. Yeah, the place I usually send it.
And of course, Google signed me out. Let's jump in. And yes, that's all fine, dandy. Skip that. Just let me into my email. Let me in. Like that gif of that guy with the let me in.
Oh, what is that?
He reminds me of the LMFAO guys, but I don't think that's right.
No, he's the same guy who like shoots the guy sitting on the chair and says, "Why would the
Who
other
is
people
that?
do that?"
Right. I don't know.
He has a show. He has a show. Like he has his own show and everything. I know his name. What is it? I'm looking it up.
Well, while you're doing that, I think I'm good to go, and I will try to follow it as best I can. Yep. All right, you can go for it, Joel.
All right.
Eric Andre show.
So this is going back to my Nanite Wars book. We saw last time Zoe got to see Fox. Didn't get to talk to him very much because they were helping a little girl. And then she got to say goodbye as he ran back into a helicopter and went back into the city. So we pick it up. This one is called Dinner and Danger. Starlet led Zoe between the rows of tables to a pair of open seats across from Kira. Next to them, a Quarkin who immediately introduced him. Next to them was a Quarkin who immediately introduced himself. "Hello, Zoe. You may call me Chip. It is so nice to meet you. How are you feeling?" he asked with both enthusiasm and sincerity, and sincere concern in his voice. You're going to see how dyslexic I am in this read. If you're reading along. It was still weird to Zoe that everyone already knew who she was. "Starlet," Kira cut in, "you missed your last sleep cycle, and I'm about to miss mine. We shall let Roan take Fox so we can both get some rest." The captain turned to Zoe. "It appears you got some sleep." Zoe thought she detected a cold tone in her voice again, but it may just be how she spoke. "I'm feeling much better, thanks. Starlet is taking good care of me." "Good to hear." Oh, sorry, that's Chip. "Good to hear. Did she make a dream for you?" "Hers are the best," Chip said. "She did. It was beautiful," Zoe said, reaching over and patting Starlet on the forearm. Starlet tensed with the touch, and Zoe looked over at the arm she was touching. Something felt wrong. She noticed that Starlet's left arm was actually separated at the elbow. The blue alien was holding both forearms so close that under the fur, it seemed like a single limb. She used her two hands, with 2 fingers each together as one. The right arm only had 1 hand with 4 fingers. A wave of intense embarrassment washed over Zoe, but she wasn't sure where it came from. The feeling stopped abruptly. Starlet turned away from Zoe, her ears bright red again. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... She wasn't sure exactly what she'd done. A hand gently rubbed her elbow. Chip was trying to give her a hint with a headshake. "It's a genetic mutation from birth," Kira explained, without looking away from her food. She's quite shy about it. "Oh, you mean like a birth defect? I'm sorry." Zoe apologized again. "Starlet, please speak to me." Starlet began rubbing her arms and stared at her food. "Starlet," Chip interjected, "could you see if they have any of those bubbly drinks?" She quickly got up and went back to the drink line, keeping her eyes averted. Chip kept a hand on Zoe, gently holding her in her seat. "This is rather sensitive, so I'm going to use a private channel," Chip said through the glasses, without using his real voice. "I think I need to tell you some things about Starlet. She has many birth defects. She is very embarrassed about them. She has turned off her transmitter because it would be transmitting her feelings. She only does it when she's really stressed out. But all of us can hear it. Of course, that's even more embarrassing." "Oh no, the poor thing," Zoe gasped, putting her hand on her mouth. "Her parents were Quarkin and Astari," Chip explained to the private channel. Chip explained on the private channel. "Most of the babies of the 2 races do not survive. Usually, if they do survive, they are severely handicapped. That explained the tail and the colors. So she's pretty lucky then, Zoe asked. Yeah, even her fur pattern is a mix. The Astari females have stripes that follow their ribs around the body. You can see on us Quarkins the stripes go down. It goes down the spine. Hers is a zigzag, confused mix between the two. She's the luckiest creature in the galaxy, but she's held together with nanites, Kira said on the private channel, surprising Zoe, who didn't know she'd been listening. There was no sarcasm in the statement. She continued to explain, whoever her parents were, they had access to a lot of specialized nanites, much more than the usual amount. They rebuild her from the inside. My guess is, one of them must have been a doctor or possibly in nanite development. Some of her implants are like nothing we've ever seen. She doesn't know who her parents are? Zoe asked. We are not sure if she remembers. We do not know, and she will not talk about it. I think they tried to kill her when they were corrupted. When Fox saved her, her colony was completely overrun. Her mind was like a wild animal. Kira said, she has so many medical nanites that they fought off the hostile ones, preventing her from being corrupted. This is unheard of without someone taking manual control. She was really young then, and for her sake, I hope she blocked them out from our memories, Chip said with much more sympathy in his voice. Starlet came back, bringing cans of soda for everyone. I'm sorry. I was hoping to hide that from you, Starlet broadcast, still unable to look Zoe in the eyes. Zoe threw her arms around Starlet's neck and whispered in her ear, Starlet, I'm so sorry. If you just tell me next time, I won't talk about something. I promise. I will drop it. Please forgive me. Starlet hugged her back for a long moment. When they finally broke the embrace, Zoe noticed that all of the Astari at the table were staring at them. They seemed confused by the gesture. What, you guys don't hug? No, not like that. Too many arms. They would get all tangled up, Chip said. They do some sort of elaborate hand-holding and cheek-touching to show affection. Us Quarkins do not stand up straight enough to do that comfortably. We just rub noses and rub noses, cheeks, and neck, or twist our tails together. Fox hugs me sometimes, Starlet broadcast in a shy voice. They're warm and calming. Kira was about to say something when she sat bolt upright and stared ahead. Oh no, she whispered. Starlet stiffened. Starlet also stiffened, a worried expression on her face. Zoe couldn't tell what was going on. An Astari further down the table jumped up and started running to the door, speaking quickly into a microphone. Charlie team, heads up. That news helicopter's going down. Tiffany, Cooper, take cover. It may crash right on top of you. A second later, Starlet gasped and clasped her hands over her mouth. Fox, no, Kira explained. Both she and Starlet jumped up and ran from the room. Zoe was unsure what to do. The tone in Kira had used suggested Fox had been hurt, but perhaps he had just done something risky again. She started to get up, went next to her, and Chip put his hand on her. I will take you to the war room when we're done. He gestured to her food. Come on, eat up. You gotta feed those little bugs. He said. What bugs? She asked, concerned. The nanites. We call them bugs. Ew, she said, looking back at the door. Are you sure we shouldn't do something? Do you know what's going on? No. If it was a big alert, I would be informed. We will find out soon. But first, someone mentioned something about a cream of ice. They said it was a treat. It sounds interesting. Do you know what this is? Charlie team, heads up. That news helicopter is going down. Tiffany, Cooper, take cover. It may crash right on top of you. Charm's panic voice came over the earpiece. Cooper and Tiffany grabbed the last survivor, all scrambling to the protective mouth of the tunnel. Above them, the chopper began to spin and smoke. Ignoring orders to keep out of the city, the pilot had gotten too close to one of the buildings, hoping to get a good shot. Some of the corrupted on the roof had walked towards them. Falling off the building, one had struck the tail rotor, breaking it. Now the pilot was struggling for control. For a moment, it looked like he was going to stabilize. But then his blade clipped one of the buildings. He careened into a downward spiral. The chopper flew over their heads and smashed into a signpost holding the force field anchor. Oh no, it took out the barrier, Charm yelled. The chopper skid and slid down the street, its blade snapping off. It screeched to a stop 2 blocks from the broken barrier. It rolled on its side at the end of the trail of crushed bodies. The horde quickly closed in around it. I'm sorry. The horde quickly closed in around both the chopper and began. Oh, that's where I messed up and changed something. Sorry, guys. The horde quickly closed in around the chopper and began banging on the sides. Cooper swore as the field blinked so it shut off. "Get in the med station!" shouted Charm over the headset. The corrupted had already begun passing through the down force field from all sides. I need to make a note here to fix that thing. They ran as fast as they could. Cooper arrived first, opened the door, and stood by, shooting the closest corrupted until the others got inside. He jumped in last. Tiffany slammed the door, locking it with heavy bolts. "Apparently this is a safe room too," she sighed with relief. "Kit thinks of everything." Fox was already on the building above. On his flight back into the city, he had seen the chopper get hit. He jumped out and ran across the rooftops. Now he leapt, gliding on his wings, heading straight for the down force field. He landed, flapping his wings forward at the last second to slow his fall. The closest corrupted couldn't stand against the gust from his wings. Sword drawn, he spun and began clearing those behind him. When he had made a small space, he picked up the roadside and slammed it down, staking it into the concrete. Crawling under his slashing swords, two corrupted grabbed his legs, kicked and stabbed at them. He grunted as one of them found a gap in his armor and took a bite. He twisted free and slashed its skull. Using his wings, he drug the force field from one side to the other. From one side, then the other. The barrier blinked and was back on, glowing bright blue, the default color. Charm swapped it to green, blocking the corrupted but still letting Fox pass. Fox through. Instead of going through, Fox turned and began fighting his way towards the downed smoking wreck. Corrupted flooded the streets by the crash. Drawn by the crash, Fox was bleeding from several deep wounds. Starlet set nanites to numb the pain as he climbed onto a car and began jumping down the street over the vehicles. "The force field is back up," Charm informed everyone in the safe room. "Get on the rooftops. See if you can clear the safe zone. We can't let any into the tunnel." "On it," Cooper said. They grabbed their rifles and climbed the ladder that led to the roof access. "What's going on?" a man in a suit asked. "Just sit tight," Tiffany said, as taking the ladder 2 rungs at a time. In their HUD, Charm lit up separate targets for them so they wouldn't waste time shooting the same ones. Cooper took out the ones around the safe room while Tiffany took out the ones moving towards the tunnel. Keep going.
What do you guys say? Good to go? Keep going? He's doing pretty good so far.
Yeah,
I got about.
I'm good to keep listening.
Page in here.
Yeah, keep going.
Fox reached the down chopper and jumped on the upturned side. He ripped the door from its mounts and looked down into the craft. Inside, the anchor lady was attempting to make a final broadcast explaining their heroic demise to the 2 cameramen. The 2 pilots hung limp, still strapped in their seats. Ignoring the shower of sparks from the equipment, the corrupted tore at the body of the lower seats through the smashed windshield. "Who are you?" the news lady shrieked as Fox took the pulse of the nearest pilot and found he was alive but unconscious. "I'm the one who's going to save you from your stupid decision," Fox growled as he cut the seatbelt and pulled the pilot to the top of the craft. He glanced at the lower pilot and sighed. The corrupted had already done too much damage. "Ladies first." He pulled her onto the top of the chopper. Looking around, Fox spied an 18-wheeler nearby. It was far too tall for the corrupted to get onto. He picked up the news lady and began jumping and gliding across the car tops to the truck. "Are you getting this? You need to get this," she shouted at her camera crew. As he came to the trailer, Fox half lifted, half threw the lady onto the roof. Then he went back for the others. The first guy had climbed up and was shooting his large camera at Fox as he made his way back. "I'm not bringing those," he told the crew. "It's my job. No time." "Then take him first." The first guy gestured down. "He's more banged up anyway." With his help, Fox got the second camera guy out and made his way across to the semi-truck. The cameraman who remained quickly set up one of the cameras propped up to watch Fox, and the other to watch down the street. When Fox returned, he helped him get the pilot up, and Fox made a third trip. The weight shifted in the helicopter. The craft rocked slightly, causing the remains of the tail to swing down to the ground. The sea of corrupted began trying to climb the slick metal skin. With their weight, the chopper rolled onto its roof. Fox needs cover, Charm called. Charm, we need more range. These 9mm sub guns aren't going to cut it at this distance, Tiffany called back. There are rifles. Tiffany stuck her head down the hatch. 2 survivors were huddled in a corner. To their right, her HUD lit up a door hidden in the wall. You, fancy suit. Open that door. I need more firepower, Tiffany barked, pointing at the secret latch. The suit flinched and lurched towards where she pointed. There isn't a metallic click sounded as the lock opened. He pulled, then pushed. He pulled on the panel, then pushed. It slid open, revealing 2 rifles and a stack of magazines. These were full-size rifles, unlike the short-barreled pistol-caliber weapons they'd been using. Suits grabbed the first rifle and almost dropped it. It's heavy, he said, passing it up with both hands. Tiff snatched it and tossed it to Cooper, then reached down for the second. With a much more powerful 7.62 bullets were far more accurate at this range. The 2 began dropping targets as close to the champion as they dared. Fox was handing up the pilot when he heard twisting metal. The cameraman screamed. Jet fuel began gushing out of the craft, flooding the street. He brought up his rifle and fired long bursts as he moved forward to the last survivor, getting headshot after headshot with impossible speed as he tried to clear the space around the man. Fox jumped and landed, using his wing gust again to knock down the closest corrupted. He pulled the cameraman up. A sea of hands clawed at his back as he pushed his way through onto the nearest car, using his wings to protect the man. Fox had only made it halfway onto the car before sparks from the dashboard ignited the fuel. They were both engulfed in a fireball. The end.
Very nice. A lot of good, fun action in that one. I think the thing that stands out to me the most in this one is the let's see here. Specifically, I'm trying to find it real quick. There was a specific moment of action that stood out to me, and now I'm not able to find it. But
of course.
But yeah, the action was really good. I was able to follow it better this time than the last time. The stuff at the beginning, the way you're doing Starlit, it's both stunted in an uncomfortable way because they're aliens and like it's weirdly human, which has always been the thing that I appreciated about this story. And it always shines in what you're doing. The action is continuing to grow on me. Your specific style of action is extremely video gamey, which I didn't like at first. I'm starting to like it more and more. So there's that. Anyway, other thoughts from folks?
You say video gamey. My first thought was that it's very like action movie, like big Hollywood summer blockbuster action movie. Especially that last action scene whenever you have him fighting these hordes of corrupted. Like that feels like it would translate really, really well into a big, massive summer blockbuster. Like not just enough detail to make it feel grounded, but not ever getting bogged down in any single like blow for blow thing. I thought that worked really, really well for the story that you're telling.
Hey, I'm going
to blow for blow in some fights, but not this one. Good.
Yep.
I'm gonna bounce off of that and say, if a 12-year-old boy would read it, and it's probably a good book, and other people will read it too. I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just my personal opinion on it. There are varying opinions on it. But
if I can hold his attention,
if you can hold their attention, then you can hold anybody's attention. And I think that this chapter especially is one of those things. The last chapter you read, I wasn't crazy about, but this one's a lot more interesting to me for some reason.
Yeah, the Fox is one of those guys, like, if it was ever a blockbuster, you'd absolutely have kids dressing up as Fox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no matter if it ended up being an R-rated movie or not, you would still find kids dressed up as Fox. You know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of movies. So,
Yeah.
Kyrith, not to put you on the spot, did you have anything? I just want to make sure everyone got their chance to say something on this.
Yeah, I just really appreciate, like, sometimes, like, with action. Well, I mean, action. I haven't read a lot of action books, but action movies, I often get disappointed in the, like, how boring the interpersonal relationships are. But with this, I really enjoy the, like the characters and their interactions as well as the action. I had a little bit hard time following because I was trying to open the link, but it didn't let me. I had to get access or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I put the link he gave me in the chat. I guess that was not open for everyone to read from, just me.
Okay.
But you'll be able to see that in the Broodcast recording. Yeah.
So what I
But
sent
yeah.
you was just a invite to my Google Doc. I thought you'd copy and paste it.
Oh. Okay.
My bad.
That's okay.
We'll
It's
prep
all
better
good,
next
not
time.
a problem. Yeah. We'll prep better on that. And if anyone else wants to send one, just send it to the chat, and I'll pull it up and scroll through it as we go. I think that's the way we should do it from here on. That way, everyone can look at it without me having to do some kind of weird screen share voodoo. So
I just didn't want to post. I just didn't know if I should post 6 pages to the chat.
No. I was just saying to post set your thing to, because it's just one chapter in this document. Go,
Right.
basically, and just make that temporarily viewable to everybody, whatever, and post it in the chat, and anyone can view it, right? And then just link it in the chat, and then everyone can pull it up and scroll however they want to.
So, can I ask everyone 2 questions
Yes.
about this? Number 1, I thought it would be hilarious that the aliens don't understand hugs. And I'm reading it, and I'm not sure if it's coming over the way I thought it would. Did that come through as funny, or is it kind of like a weird?
I do think it was funny, personally, not hilarious. I thought it was chuckle worthy the way that you wrote
It's
it.
awkward. Yeah, it's awkward. Like I said, this is part of the whole humanity thing that you really lean into. Even the aliens have a humanity in and of themselves, and so it's just we're dealing with how different we are in the in-between moments, and how everyone deals with each other is part of the plot too. It's not just the action, it's not just the character, it all flows in and out of each other.
Zoe learning how this new world that she's suddenly been forced into, and she's I'm going to accept everything, but you're going to accept me too.
Right. Yeah. What was the second question?
Well, the second question is the bullet thing I asked you earlier. So, in that bit there where they're shooting from the trailer and they switch guns, is that too recoil nerd? Is that too gun guy specific, or does that add something to the story for everyone?
So. I thought that you did a really good job of describing like why they were switching, why the ammunition and the weaponry they were using wasn't effective. You showed it. You didn't just say that it wasn't. Like, I thought that worked really well. I also already know what the difference between 7.62 and 9. So take that with a grain of salt.
The other thing is, this is accurate to the characters. the characters would not use the generic blockbuster terms that Hollywood would force upon those characters. And this is what we would be dealing with in a Hollywood blockbuster is we'd have someone who's a straight up hardcore military person using generic terms that the military would never use.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm
In my
saying? And
first
so
draft-
for me, it feels accurate.
In my first draft, I had her call them Mike Mikes because that's a nickname for 9mm. And
Hey,
I found that
Abby.
was too.
Hello.
I found most people don't know what that was, so I had to go back.
Yep, I gotcha. Any more feedback for Joel before we move forward tonight? Okay, then. Abby, Joel just read. He was the first one tonight. He will be leaving at some point a little earlier because he's got work or something, if I remember correctly. Or just needs
got work in the
rest. yeah.
I haven't. It's been a weird week.
Yep. Abby, are you going to be reading something tonight for us or no?
I will
Maybe.
come back and listen to everyone. I promise.
Awesome. Thank you, Joel. You're so great at that. We appreciate it a lot. So
Sort of.
even when you don't appreciate it, he's paying attention. You like the attention. Be real.
I do like the attention, and most of the time his critiques are helpful. So annoying.
Even if you don't like his fix. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Abby, I'm gonna have you as a maybe until a little later, as far as that goes. Alex and Ian. Alex, I don't know how long your thing is. Usually it's fairly short. I'd love to have you go before Ian, if that's
mine
fine.
can go for as long or as short as you let me, because as I
Okay.
said, it's just honing in on an RPG campaign.
Okay. What do you guys
So.
say? Ian, Alex, who wants to go?
I'm willing to let Alex go as long as he keeps it, brief. Not that I'm trying to rush anything.
Let Ian go.
Okay.
Okay.
Go for it, Ian.
All right. We are now on chapter 3 of Heart of the Stars. Revision.
Do you want to share it like he did? You don't have to. But if you do, I'll scroll it visually so people can follow along.
Don't share it like I hear it right. 'Cause I did it wrong.
Okay, I'll share it correctly if I can. Straight. And link can. Yeah, go with viewer. Copy link. Done. And
You know how to open the chat?
I'm starting to figure out this whole Discord thing.
Good. All right, we got a link. Let me pull that up and get it situated here. Okay, that's, yeah, let me get it. There we go. And move this so that we can see everybody's lovely faces. I'm going to make this, okay, let's see. Yeah, that's about right. And then, okay, yeah. All right, Ian, you can go when you are ready.
Okay, I am ready. The returning spring birds. This is chapter 3, by the way, for all of you that are following at home.
Let me get to it. And 3. Yep, got it. Okay.
Returning spring birds outside Eddie Small's window. Twittered outside Eddie's small window. Let me try that again. The returning spring birds twittered outside Eddie Small's window as he awoke from a dream of dinosaurs, aliens, and giant spiders. Spiders again. Why did they have to encroach on his dreams like this? Could he not have one night without their creeping, crawling menace? He sat up. The journal lay open on his bed. He must have fallen asleep reading it. He searched his room for Fred, but the cat was nowhere to be found. Fred, you see, had an errand to run. After hastily dressing, Eddie descended the stairs to the dining room, where Marie and Edith had made a sumptuous breakfast. "Hey there, sleepyhead," said Chuck. "Where have you been?" "I stayed up to read the journal," Eddie replied. "Is it true?" "Every word," said Chuck. "My grandfather swore up, down, and sideways that it all occurred just as he wrote in the journal." "So the stone is?" Eddie asked, holding it in his hand. "I don't know," Chuck said. "I've analyzed it every way I know how, and I still don't have a clue." Andrew took a sip of tea and said, "It's not from this planet, but we don't know where it's from. It's not even on the periodic table. You probably shouldn't be handling it that much." "Oh, Papa Daniel carried it around in his coat pocket for good luck. That's a good luck charm for years, and he lived to be 102, asserted Chuck. "In fact, he was in surprisingly good health, as the doctors couldn't explain it." Eddie took his seat at the table, and Marie served him a plate of French toast and sausage. "Merci, Meme," said Eddie politely. Marie kissed him on the forehead and took her seat next to Chuck. "I've been all over the world, Eddie," said Chuck, "and I've never seen anything quite like what you have in your pocket." They enjoyed a bit of pleasant conversation, discussing the goings-on at the university, who was retired, who was getting a fellowship, who had made the dean's list, and various discoveries Andrew had made in the heavens. Upon finishing his breakfast, Eddie commenced his studies. Eddie, you see, was of a rare and exotic breed of children known as homeschoolers. Dr. Andrew, fully disgusted with the state of education in America, decided that he could do a better job educating his child himself. Edith was gung-ho on the idea, and so they taught Eddie at home. It was an ideal arrangement for Eddie, as he had the time and ability to pursue his own interests, such as art, music, and playing Dungeons and Dragons. Having completed his studies that afternoon, Eddie decided to take the most of this fair day in spring. He decided to make the most of this fair day in spring. Saying goodbye to his mother, Eddie went out through the kitchen door and onto the front porch. "Whoa there, cowboy," said Chuck. He was seated in a rocking chair on the porch, wearing an Argyle sweater and smoking a long pipe. I already covered this earlier in the chapter. Okay, I have like a duplicate scene here. I'm sorry, guys. "Why isn't Dad happy about it?" asked Eddie. Chuck puffed on his pipe and said, "I think your dad wanted to wait until you were a little older. He just wants to protect you." Eddie nodded. "I'm more of a mind that the world is a dangerous place and we shouldn't kid ourselves into thinking it's not." "I understand," said Eddie. "Now, were you off to some new adventure today?" asked Chuck. "Yes, sir," Eddie replied. "Bucky and I were going to play in the woods." "Well, better hurry up. You're burning daylight, boy." Eddie took off for the garage, where he retrieved his bike and set off for Bucky's house. This was what freedom felt like. 2 tires on the road, and the wind in his face. It was about that time of day that Bucky came home from school. "Bucky," called Eddie to the boy as he left the bus. Dropping his backpack in the garage, Bucky grabbed his bicycle and rode out. Down to the end of the street they raced. There stood a patch of woods they liked to play in and have any sort of adventure until sundown. They secured their bikes to some trees. Eddie and Bucky had made the mistake of leaving them unattended in the past, giving opportunity to one Thorwald Van Horn, who we shall meet in a moment. "Did you bring it?" asked Bucky. "Bring what?" inquired Eddie. "The rock," Bucky responded. Eddie took the stone from his pocket and showed his friend the marvel from another world. "What did the journal say?" Bucky inquired. "I'll tell you," began Eddie, "after we have a rematch." "Rematch?" Bucky said quizzically. "Yes," Eddie responded. I think we need to have a rematch after yesterday's fight. Eddie produced 2 plastic swords from his backpack, dropping one at Bucky's feet. The two instantly commenced a fierce sword fight in the woods. In and out between the trees they fought, to the amazement of passers-by. Finally, Bucky had Eddie cornered, or so he thought, between a wall of rock and a creek bed. "It's over, Eddie," said Bucky. "I have the high ground." "There's something I should tell you, Bucky," Eddie said, as Bucky was beginning to gain the upper hand. "What's that?" asked the boy. "I am not left-handed." Eddie tossed the sword up in the air, vaulted over the rock, and caught the toy weapon in his right hand. Bucky was too astonished to react to this development simply paused dumbfounded as his friend thrust the sword towards Bucky's throat. "Give up?" asked Eddie. "Yes," said Bucky with a sigh, dropping his weapon. "It was a good fight," said Eddie, offering his hand. The two boys shook hands vigorously. "By the way," said Bucky, "you need to practice your footwork." Eddie wrinkled his nose at his Bucky. "I almost won," he continued. "Don't try to be so fancy. Just practice the basics." "Duly noted," said Eddie. "Now about the journal." The two boys sat down by the edge of the creek as Eddie unraveled a tale of dinosaurs, giant apes, and the mysterious artifacts of another world. Bucky was dumbfounded by the end. They used dumbfounded twice in the same chapter. I'll have to fix that. He felt the strangely warm stone in his hand, staring at the ever-changing patterns and iridescent colors that played on its surface. "No one seems to know where it came from," said Eddie. "Not even Dad." "Gosh, your dad knows almost everything," Bucky replied. It was then that a loud, obnoxious voice arrested their attention. "Hey, small brain," called the voice. Eddie turned slowly to face his arch-nemesis, Thorwald Van Horn. Thorwald was something of a throwback. He more resembled the reconstructions of Neanderthals Eddie had seen at the Natural History Museum. He was large for his age, broad-shouldered, and somewhat overweight. His tousled, dirty blonde hair lay in a mop above his sloping brow. His face seemed to be locked in a permanent scowl, unless he was tormenting someone else. By his side walked 2 of his minions, both more ugly and riddled with acne than Thorwald. "What do you want, Thorwald?" asked Eddie as the boy approached. "You want to play here, or you gotta pay the toll," said Thorwald, placing his right foot on a rock and crossing his arms. "More like pay the troll," remarked Bucky with a smirk. "Listen, beaver face," sneered Thorwald. "You better shut that mouth before I shove it in the mud. Would you like that?" Bucky scowled. "It'd be better than looking at your ugly mug," Eddie quipped. "Oh, we got a funny boy," said Thorwald. "That'll cost you double." "I don't owe you anything," said Eddie. "What about that thing you're trying to hide behind your back?" "It's nothing," said Eddie. "Let me see it," demanded Thorwald. "No." "I said," Thorwald's sentence was cut short by the sudden impact on the back of his head. Thorwald and his companions spun around, cursing. Behind them stood a figure of an old man with a long stick in his hand. "Who the heck are you?" asked Thorwald. "Who am I?" asked the old man. "What a peculiar question to ask. I could ask you the same." "Why'd you do that?" interrogated Thorwald. "Why not?" asked the old man. "It seemed like you were about to do harm to these boys. Couldn't stand idly by and allow that. Now, why don't you 3 go off to wherever it was you came from, and we can forget this whole affair ever happened, eh?" The young men stared at the old one for a few minutes, deciding whether it was worth it to contend with him. Suddenly, the old man... Sorry, I lost my place. Suddenly, the old man barked like a dog. The bullies ran off to the sound of the uproarious laughter of the old man. "This isn't over," cried one of the pimpled boys behind him. You bet it's not, said Eddie. You tell that butt-faced baboon Thorwald that he can go give himself a swirly. Was that really necessary? Asked Bucky. No, remarked the old man, but it's a free country, and it was very funny. Thorwald's probably going to make our lives even more miserable now, groaned Bucky. Not on my watch, said the elder. The old man sat down on an old tree stump. His age and his peculiar clothing gave the impression of a man out of time, at once a leftover hippie from the 1960s, and something far older. To Eddie, his sun-brown, weathered skin reminded him of a sage of some far-off desert kingdom, like one of the wise men who brought gifts to Jesus. Bucky, however, saw him more as the wizard Merlin from King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. Thank you for helping us, sir, said Eddie. You're very welcome, Edmund, said the old man. How did you know my name? Eddie asked. Same as how I know about your nightmares, the cat told me. You mean Fred? Said Eddie, incredulous. Who did you think I was talking about? Replied Azariah. Of course Fred, though he prefers to be called Zeus, Lord of Thunder. Pretentious, I know, but he has a flair for the dramatic. How did you know that? Asked Eddie. I speak cat. You're crazy, said Eddie. I've been accused of it many times, replied the old man. What do you know about my nightmares? Asked Eddie. Oh, I know they're more than nightmares, said Azariah. Now, I haven't named him yet, so... said the old man.
You actually had one Azariah before that. I literally just made a note on that to give you feedback, but I just want to make sure you get it while you're in editing mode. Your first Azariah is a little bit further up. Replied Azariah after, who did you think I was talking about? That's your first one. Okay. That might be something you fix later, but I just wanted to point it out because since you already noticed it yourself and there was one earlier up. So, yep.
I know they're more than just nightmares, said the old man. The arachnoids are quite real, and you are right to be frightened of them. Wait, what? Blurted Eddie. They wander the dark corners of the universe, seeking their next meal, never sated, always restless, devouring whole planets and stars, said the old man, with a faraway look in his turquoise eyes. What do they want from me? Asked Eddie. Azariah here. The elder seemed to snap back to the present moment. He had a strange look in his eye as he looked at Eddie, as though he was seeing an old friend for the first time in years. Have you got your sword? He asked. No, said Eddie. I left it at home. My dad told me not to leave the house with it. You will have need of it before long. Another Azariah. Gracious sake. The old man said enigmatically. Eddie had the feeling that really need to do a better job of editing. That the elder was either insane or knew something he wasn't telling. Does it have anything to do with my stone? Eddie asked. The old man paused, looking down at him. Yes, it has everything to do with that stone. You must keep it hidden for now. Never part with it, and tell no one about it. Eddie nodded gravely. You should go home. I never actually had him introduce himself, and that's really important to the plot. I'm going to have to fix that. This forest isn't safe after dark. None of this paragraph makes sense if I don't actually give the old man's name.
You can finish. Right, you can finish reading it like you did introduce him. Just okay. We'll understand.
I'm going to put another sentence in there where he actually gives his name as Azariah. The old man escorted the boys back to their bicycles and sent sent them on their way. Eddie kept playing the bizarre incident in his head over and over. Maybe Azariah was crazy or lying. But if that were true, how did he know about Eddie's nightmares? Or his cat, Fred? Or his father's job? None of it really made sense. I imagine if some stranger walked up to you out of the blue and started talking about dreams no one else knew about, you would be a bit frightened yourself. And that is the end of chapter.
Those are definitely some improvements on the last version of this that you read a while ago. I love Azariah so much. He is my spirit animal, and I'll say it again. I am in no way hippie-ish, I don't think, but the everything else is just, it's so funny.
Azariah is wonderful.
One thing I will say about him, when he speaks about the looming, he has that kind of short, medium-sized monologue about the spiders, right? The arachnoids out in space, swallowing whole worlds. That's a really good point to do, like, a goofy turn of phrase, or like he stared off and reached into his shirt picking his belly button, or something really wacky, like to offset the seriousness of it all and go, wait, is this guy for real? You know? So that's an opportunity you can take or leave. But yeah. So anyone else thoughts on this?
Kind of similar style of thing that Joshua said. Whenever is it his dad or his uncle who's telling him about his grandfather living to 102?
That is Eddie's grandfather. So he's
Eddie's grandfather. Okay.
Eddie's grandfather's grandfather lived to be 102.
Got it. Okay. Only thing that I thought is that it might help just with it might be beneficial, I should say, if at the end of that, whenever he's saying, I mean, he lived to 102 while he was wearing it constantly. The doctors even said he was in good health until something mysterious, vaguely
Mysterious,
until he just wasn't.
Non-biological.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about that. I just figured that, 102 is really old, even if you're in good health. He would just like die in his sleep. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it makes, as I said, it wouldn't really help anything because it's not hurting at all, but it might add a little bit of something.
Fred's cousin is on the broadcast.
Fred's cousin?
Look at Joel.
Nobody's camera is working right now except for Kyrith for some reason.
Oh, okay. He's got an orange cat on his one. So yeah.
One sec. I'll bring another one in.
No, it's not you. It's
another
me.
Cat. No, he's showing another cat.
Oh, he's showing off his cats. Okay.
But ran away.
Oh boy.
We have a bunch of cats.
Oh, I can win at this game. There's 7 cats in this house right now. We're fostering some kittens we found.
We have 3.
This is the only one here. It's called Mutiny.
I remember. Yes, you all named it Mutiny because your dad didn't want
That's
it.
a good name for a cat. This is Buster.
Boy.
My daughter named him.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is named Gimli.
Huh?
Gimli, great name.
For an orange cat?
Yep.
I am the only person here who does not possess cats.
You
You win.
I mean, this one's technically my parents because I'm very allergic to cats.
Yeah,
I'm
I
also
have
quite
3 cats
allergic
outdoors.
to cats.
Yeah, I'm allergic to them. They're outdoor cats.
I'm also really irritated that they use my yard as the world's largest litter box.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be quite so annoying if my dog didn't try to eat it.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Ooh, yuck.
Yeah, it is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. but the last two dogs have both been
Next
like
to
that.
Thorwald Van Horn's face, am I right? Anyway.
Oh, also obligatory mention of the fact that Thorwald Van Horn is the best name for a bully character since Eustace Clarence Scrub.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
What would I was thinking, all right, what do you name a bully? Like, got it. Yes. And he's based sort of on Buford Van Stomp from Phineas and Ferb. The whole vibe was Buford Van Stomp, and he also goes through a redemption arc. So
He does.
little spoiler alert there, but yeah, he goes through a redemption arc, and Thorwald becomes like his best friend by the end of the book.
See,
Oh, cool.
I have I have only watched like 3 episodes of Phineas and Ferb because we didn't have Disney Channel growing up, and also the Dr. Doofenshmirtz rap that has been put to the beat of Not Like Us. That's
that.
that is my exposure to Phineas and Ferb.
It is
Perry the Platypus.
It's probably one of my favorite kids shows of all time.
It's a good one.
I've heard
haven't
that
watched
sentiment
enough of it.
often.
Yeah, I haven't watched enough of it. I've seen more than Alex, but I definitely have not watched enough of it because it just wasn't on my radar. I was too old. So
yeah, I mean, I was technically too old too, but I watched one episode and I just went, okay, I need to watch this entire TV show, just binge it. And I'm a teenager. I don't care.
yeah.
I know what good entertainment is when I see it. And
yep.
For a while, my dad was actually obsessed with me.
The best villain ever.
Doofenshmirtz is great. He is so funny.
I don't think that Doofenshmirtz is actually a villain. I think he's just like an anti-hero who is just not.
It's not even that.
He's very much.
He's just a guy. Right.
So
weird idea.
Hey, what's up, Brendan? Good to see you, man.
Good to be seen and not viewed.
The one character I'll put on par with Doofenshmirtz because he's basically the same character, but I think done just as well is Dr. Draken from Kim Possible.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Draken is amazing. I love the Harvey Korman style voice that John DiMaggio is doing for him. It's just hilarious.
So good. So anyway.
So I have more comments.
Okay, you have more comments. Good. Let me hear them.
So first off, I really liked how you changed the sword fight so that Bucky loses, because you're building up Eddie to be this good swordsman. It makes sense that Bucky isn't on the same level.
Yeah.
Before, you had them fighting and they were like neck and neck the whole time, and you're like, okay, is he good? Are they both good? Or are they both just kids and they're only good in their own imagination? But now you're saying, look, he really is good because he's winning so well. I mean, you're
that's a good point.
You're doing the Indigo Montoya thing, but Princess Bride thing, but he pulls it off and leaves his friend dumbfounded. So I like that because it gives Eddie a chance to show this is actually him being good, not just in their imagination they're being good. Does that make sense?
I hadn't thought about that, but that's 100% correct.
Alex, will you take the reins for 2 seconds while I use the restroom? You will be next when Ian concedes and go from there. I will be right back, y'all.
Unlimited power. I don't know how to control this thing. So free for all, I guess.
So, Joshua's gone. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, exactly. Dang. Don't we all just hate Joshua? Love you, Joshua.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the worst. He's the worst, Patrick. Come on, Patrick.
Okay, Joel's trying to say something, I think.
We go on a transition from breakfast to after school very quickly, and it's like one sentence, and I blinked and missed it. I think you might. I don't know. You just said he finished his studies really quickly. Being a homeschooler, I had days where I got them knocked out in an hour. Because it was just a day that I just had a couple tests, and if I did them really fast, not always right, but fast, I could get on and do whatever I wanted. And that's why my language is so bad. That's why I read really weird. Anyway, I would think just another sentence there showing the passing of time, or something showing that time skips faster or longer. Because to me, I blinked. I'm like, wait a minute. We were talking about breakfast, and now Bucky's out of school.
Are you gonna share?
I missed the transition. And you did say he finished his studies and moved on, but I felt like that could have been made a little clearer.
Y'all forgot I had wireless headphones. That was hilarious.
Did we forget, or was that the point?
I don't know, man. Was it? I don't know. Hilarious. Alex just felt like doing the drunk with humor joke.
I knew that he was going to see it later regardless, but
Exactly.
Drunk with power joke. Yeah, that was hilarious. Any other thoughts for Ian before we get to Alex? And Brendan, are you going to be sharing something tonight?
If no one minds, I would like to share.
Of course we don't. Also, you need to be sharing while everyone's here. Please share the thing really quick before Alex that you came up with. Pitch it if you have the energy to do so. The thing that you talked about in the Brood, the challenge, so that everyone can hear.
So the short version is there's going to be a weekly challenge. The challenge is to create an art piece. We opted for weekly rather than daily because, one, nobody's got time for that. And two, the point is to create a piece to completion, not just do a quick practice sketch, right?
Yeah.
Now, completion, this is any % speed run. So you don't have to make it perfect because you only have 1 week, right? And we all have lives. But we want you to work on making something that is at least some semblance of completed. The challenge in question was originally for only visual art, but as we worked on it, we quickly realized that actually all of these prompts work for writing too. So on Sunday night, assuming I remember, the challenge will be announced. It's going to be a prompt based on something. I had a couple of options listed. There's like based on a song, based on do fan art from this particular fandom, there's a pose, right? What? Sorry.
Sparkly Barbarian.
Yes, and one of the things we included was something from a Brood member's story, right? So there's a very real chance that we will be doing fan art of your story. There you go. But we're just this is a challenge. This was a challenge that just sort of came up because, I mean, yeah, once a month is all fine and dandy and good, but weekly challenges sometimes help people improve more because you have something. It's an accountability system to actually practice and do better and stuff. And it's the point of the challenge element is that since everyone's doing the same thing, you can compare and contrast to find things that you like that you go, oh, I really want to include that in future from other people. Or you can look at it and go, actually, you know what? I'm actually really happy with how I did this part, right? it's sort of a group effort deal, right? It's so if we pick a song, we will share the song and everybody will get to listen. If we pick a pose, I'm going to share the pose, the image of the pose in the chat somewhere so that everybody can see it. So we're all operating off of the same parameter. But
this will hopefully really help get people out of their ruts,
Yeah, that's the idea, at least. Now, bear in mind, I am about as organized as your average marmot, so I will do my best to. I'm doing my best to facilitate this. However, after a certain point, I'm going to need help, and so I won't be the only one presenting challenges. We will be occasionally piggybacking off of other people. I'm sure Ian would love to have a bunch of people do a Conan-related story and or art piece, and so we'll do that maybe one week. Or he'll pick, or our Assyrian ambassador will pick, or Joshua, or whoever is involved in the challenge.
Do this for me, and I'll enforce it with my end of things. Obviously, like I said, I can't participate immediately, but tag someone in the Brood and tell them it's their turn to do a prompt when it's their turn to do a prompt.
That's a good idea.
Even if they're not participating in the actual creation, they should be able to prompt us.
Sure, that works.
Make it like jury duty for the Brood.
Jury
This
duty.
is prompt duty for the Brood.
Can I add?
Go ahead, Joel.
I was going to say, make sure you tag everyone on the thing so we can find them, because the Brood feed sometimes moves really fast and stuff gets lost.
The messenger feed, yeah. We're going to have a separate spot in the Discord too.
Who all is interested in being in the challenge? Because we have a role in the Discord for it.
That is a point. Primarily, we're hoping that this will be Discord. I will be using Messenger as a supplement for people who want to participate but don't Discord. But our hope is primarily to have this be Discord-centric. So,
yeah. Abby, were you going to say something?
I'm sorry that took longer than it should have.
Okay. It's all good. Alex, you have the floor next with your... You said it was a role play campaign type thing you're working on?
One more thing.
Ian, Ian, one more thing. He's Steve Jobsing.
I was just wondering if anybody else had any more thoughts for me. Alex said some stuff, and so did Joel, but I didn't hear anything from the ladies.
I can't think of the prose is so it just reminds me of some of my literature classes, and it's so I'm very impressed by it. What?
It's Lewisian.
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis, it's very Lewisian.
Yeah, but it also it reminds me a little bit of I vaguely remember reading Where the Red Fern Grows, and what was another I really liked in school what was it, Fahrenheit
451.
Yeah, and things like that, and it's just so it's an interesting prose, because I'm used to reading a lot of things where it's just very kind of get to the point kind of narration. And it's so the kid just it feels so immersive. But I feel bad because I try to think of constructive feedback, but I can't really think of what I would change or
I will say that get to the point narrative is being pushed very hard in the other writer groups I'm in. They're like, oh yeah, cut that out. This doesn't need to be in there. That's irrelevant. Trim your story down
the ghost
to
of
the bare
Hemingway
bones.
haunting us.
Yeah, and it's like they want their story as thin as possible, and I'm like, are you sure about that? I had one guy
Are you
sit there
sure about
and
that?
yeah, he was convinced that Starlet was irrelevant to the story for half the read. He's like, come on, get to the zombies. I'm like, you don't understand. She is the story. The zombies are the irrelevant thing, if anything. I could rewrite the book without the zombies. And Starlet goes and does another thing.
So back away from the road.
All right. So, Alex, you go ahead with your role play situation.
Guys, I gotta go. My wife's calling.
Abby didn't
Okay,
say
we'll see
anything.
See you, Joel. Hope your wife is
Abby.
okay with all the rain.
Abby,
Yes.
go ahead. If you
Um,
have something.
that's the first bit of it that I've heard, but I did enjoy it. I really like the reference to Star Wars and The Princess Bride that was cleverly thrown in.
He has a lot of those.
I figured.
Yeah, I try to blend in. My style is very influenced, in this book anyway, is very influenced by C.S. Lewis and to a greater or lesser extent Dean Koontz. And I realize I'm probably the only person in here that reads Dean Koontz. If you like thrillers, you
Brendan
should read
does,
Dean.
right?
Brendan.
I think Brendan haven't you read Dean Koontz? I'm wrong. Different person. Anyway, go ahead. Just a name thing.
Yeah, he's a really, really good Christian thriller writer. I mean, he doesn't bill himself as a Christian writer, but he's a Christian writer. Like there's a gospel message in all of his books. All the ones that I've read, there's a gospel message, but it's just like veiled with symbolism and narrative. It's
Dean Koontz.
Koontz. Koontz.
Oh,
I
with a
own,
K?
yes,
Yeah.
okay. I own several of his books.
But my grandparents had a lot of his books in their house.
Super.
I haven't read it yet. Just like a paragraph.
Alrighty. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, no critiques. Because you seem to be catching everything as you were reading. I don't know, it seems pretty good.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for the feedback. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
Thanks for reading it.
Like you said, what, Abby?
this is the first bit that I've heard, so I would like to hear more.
Oh, goody.
You only got passing mention of Fred. You're going to be excited about Fred.
Yeah.
Fred is amazing.
I was disappointed that Fred didn't star in this episode, but I figure he must have been in the other ones.
You
Since he's
need
the
to
winner.
draw a picture of Fred on a t-shirt. No background or anything, just Fred like laying in some weird position like cats do on their back, you know, kind of a thing, like sprawled out, and it just says Fred is life.
No. Strip it down even further. Just big, bold, impact font behind him. Fred. That's it.
We will all get them.
You don't need anything else. It's just Fred laying in an odd position, and then like orange color. I'm thinking like the iPhone 17 Pro font. Fred.
There you go. That's super fun.
Yes,
All right, Alex, you've got the floor.
Okay, so I am running a Fallout RPG campaign for basically my family and my best friend. So the idea is to set it in Texas, particularly San Antonio, and it's going to be called Fallout Lone Star. In case anybody is unfamiliar with the Fallout setting, basically you have in the year it's retrofuturism up until the year 2077, whenever the entire world is engulfed in a nuclear war, destroying everything, creating weird abominations, monsters, ghouls, deathclaws, all of that jazz. It's got a very fun feel to it. It's marked by quippy writing and interesting explorations of like man's inherent bent towards war and destruction and all of that. I have basically no idea what the themes of the campaign that I'm working on are going to be beyond like general Fallout war. The tagline of Fallout is war never changes. I have some factions built out and I'm working on a map right now. But I would love to get some help on the theming and like plot beats. If anybody would like that. If anyone would like to help with that.
Okay. The Fallout thing generally, like, when I am trying to do a genre I generally don't like, and this is one of those, as you know, we've talked about this, the post-apocalyptic, sort of thing, whatever. I immediately go, well, why don't I like that thing? What's the opposite? What's the other sort of thing that's going on? And that may help you, it may not. But the main thing for me, you can lean into depravity. A lot of people do that in this kind of situation. You can lean into, I think part of the pull of Fallout specifically is kind of like survivalism, like the Bear Grylls out in the woods, like we're just making things work, MacGyvery sort of thing.
Scrapping your weapons, building up food, all that jazz.
Yeah. I think that getting themes within that setting is actually somewhat hard because there's so much focus, especially in a role play, on the specific things going on. So I think this is going to have to be tied to, do you have like a whether you have an overlord or a small tyrant, like who's the bad guy?
So the bad guy could be any number of people in the setting. So as I said, I have some I have factions built out already for the San Antonio area. The four big factions are the Brotherhood of Steel, basically pre-war military members who abandoned the U.S. Army whenever they found out that the U.S. government was doing shady stuff, and now have a cult dedicated to tracking down all pre-war technology so that people can't cause the Great War again. The Archdiocese of San Antonio is a faction because San Antonio, according to my research, is the largest majority Hispanic city in the nation, and they have a lot of Catholic churches around. So before the bombs fell, they prepped and were ready for it. And so all of the historic Catholic churches in the area are still functioning and actually respected by the various raider groups. The Republic of Texas is the continuity government from the state of Texas that continued after the bombs dropped. And the Wings are a raider gang that live in Lackland Air Force Base. They're all ghouls. So they have been around since before the war, are extremely skilled, but they kind of speak like this, and they have rotten skin.
Okay.
So that's kind of your ideas. The obvious bad guys are the Wings, the Raider gang, but like the Archdiocese is up to shady stuff. The Republic of Texas is up to shady stuff, including facilitating the murder of one of the previous archbishops. And the Brotherhood of Steel is always a wild card who are exclusively out for their own gain.
So in this case, everyone is trying to shape the future in their own image. You have the option of creating sort of a theme slash moving toward the idea that the future is completely and totally outside of anyone and everyone's control. Like that being a general theme that you can work with, the unpredictability of the future itself, right? I think that's something that obviously, yeah, like things are in upheaval, but basically deeper than that, like there's a transcendent future beyond man's control as a theme. That's something you could lean into. That's immediately coming to mind. Other people's thoughts? Anybody so far? I'm just kind of doing my thought process, the way I start building things. Walking down the rabbit hole. Do any of you guys like the post-apocalyptic stuff? Do any of you like Fallout?
Never heard of Fortnite.
Okay.
I am vaguely familiar with Fallout, the whole post-apocalyptic genre thing. My only real exposure to that is, I guess technically you could consider Firefly post-apocalyptic in a way.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit further out than most post-apocalyptic, but
Yeah.
yes.
The Book of Eli, another post-apocalyptic thing. I really need to finish that movie. So good. What's the other one? And there was this movie, I can't remember the name of it, but there was this movie about these dragons that came out of 1,000 years sleep and destroyed the world, and people had to like figure out how to survive, and these dragons kept coming and destroying all their stuff. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was good. Anyway,
I've never heard of this movie.
Good. It's like these guys are just trying to survive in a world that has dragons in it all of a sudden. Like, it's a perfectly normal modern world, and all of a sudden the dragons wake up and destroy everything. And now humanity has to start over.
So Skyrim, but modern day.
yeah, it's modern Skyrim, and so they're having to learn how to farm again. And there's this wonderful scene where the two dads of all these kids are reenacting scenes from Star Wars as like a form of entertainment for them, because they don't have movies anymore. They barely have electricity. So they're just like, okay, well, what were the stories that we enjoyed when we were kids? And we're just going to pass those down as like legends. You know, it's like, okay, what if humanity did have to start over?
Huh.
So, what's that?
Huh. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
I need to remember the name of the movie. My dad and I watched it, and we loved it. I just can't remember the name of the movie.
Do you roughly know what
it
decade it was made in?
I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. It was like in the same era as
The Mask of Zorro.
In Independence Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the same kind of genre of, just a bunch of people trying to survive. I kind of like that, of like what really happens when the stuff hits the fan. How do people come together and survive? And obviously there's going to be a lot of really, really bad people who are going to use this as an excuse to be really bad. But you're also going to see a lot of, and I've seen this over the natural disasters that I've witnessed and whatnot. You're also going to see a lot of people just helping each other. I mean, I do believe in total depravity. I do believe that people do horrible, horrible things to each other, quite obviously. I mean, spend any amount of time on Twitter and you'll see that. But I also believe that because of common grace, God doesn't allow us to descend into complete chaos.
Right.
So you do also see these bright points of light in there, and that's what post-apocalypse is for. Well, where do you find the light? Where do you find those points of light? So I
Yes.
would say go find the points of light in there and try and emphasize that as much as you can.
Okay.
Another thought. Oh yes, technically we are living in a post-apocalypse.
Yeah, duh.
Technically, you are correct.
Fall of Jerusalem, 70 AD.
I was referring to the flood of Noah, but
Well, you can go with both. I always say to me the fall of Jerusalem is the big A apocalypse in a lot of ways, and then all the others are the little apocalypses. Although the flood would be considered probably a big A apocalypse too, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Can you repeat that last bit?
I was just talking about small A apocalypses versus big A apocalypses. So
yeah. So
I mean, technically,
go ahead, Kyrith.
Technically, the fall.
Kyrith's got something.
For post-apocalyptic, I did start watching Fallout, but I don't remember why I stopped or if I watched it all or it just But for post-apocalyptic, I really liked A Quiet Place, which is a little. I don't know how that because
that is post-apocalyptic.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Well, but it wasn't just like this scary situation and all this action. It was like very family focused.
Yeah.
And that was just really cool that they pulled that off. And yeah. Anyways.
Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire was the name of the movie.
Rain of Fire. Got it.
Yeah. REIGN. Rain, as in rain.
A king
So
reigning.
I'm going to just say one thing. I'm sorry, I'm kind of half listening because I just had a long day of work and sort of out of it. But let me just say for all the people who are like, I don't like post-apocalyptic, stop confusing a plot device for a worldview statement.
Oh yeah.
Magic and Harry Potter is not saying that it's not a worldview statement that magic is good. It's a plot device. So when it comes to the apocalypse, it is a plot device to go, this is a dangerous world. There are the things that you can normally rely on in modern day, you can't rely on, but we want the people to have, to me, post-apocalyptic is, I want to live in medieval times, but I want people to understand how to make guns and what electricity is. I want to live in medieval times, but I want people to have modern knowledge.
See, to the medievals, the fall of Rome was the end of the world.
Right.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, that was the end of everything for them. King Arthur is technically post-apocalypse.
Oh.
That's so interesting.
I read a trilogy that was post-apocalyptic, but it was it took place in Europe, and it was humanity went backwards in technology, and it was the characters were rediscovering Christianity and everything and the Bible, but they went backwards technologically. So it was post-apocalyptic. It was just basically just wanting to write medieval, but not with actual history.
And any book that's eaten by an alpaca is post-alpacalypse.
was that book series that you read called the Shivisi trilogy?
That sounds right.
Okay. I started reading that whenever I was 9 years old. We were listening to it on audio, and my mom went, you know what? You don't need to listen to this right now.
Yeah. A teacher gave it to me in, I think I was already in high school, but I was still kind of whoa. Yeah.
I need to go back and reread that.
So, did this help at all, Alex? Do you have any follow-ups?
I think so. It gave me at least a couple of ideas as to what to do. I need to, I guess, start working on a couple of dungeons or brief adventures and stuff like that, so that I can start feeling out where the characters are.
Yeah, Abby.
in San Antonio, you can always have people go like on the river. You can have them like the restaurants go all the way back under the streets. So there's a lot of opportunity for unique catacombs if you're looking for like dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like
absolutely.
The river walk.
It's
Yeah,
very
the
cool.
river walk is really interesting. Yeah, you could do a lot with that.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a night, like right now.
All right, Ian.
So
yeah, man.
it's good
See
talking
Ian.
with you guys.
Thanks for sticking
Thanks
around
for
a
the
little.
critique.
Yep. Have a good night.
Night. God bless.
All right. So we have two maybes in Kyrith and Abby still. Brendan, you're wanting to read something, I believe, and I have my two wrestling ones. So what do we want to do next?
I would prefer to try to get feedback before everyone leaves, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, everyone has left. Well, not everyone.
Not
Many
everyone.
people have left.
Go ahead, man.
I'm just going to reread a chunk from the trilogy that I was working on. This is sort of like the actual, I don't want to say the first meeting, but like the first time Tiernan really and Voss, like Tiernan and Voss really actually like, well, not the first time they click, but the first time Tiernan like actually like understands a bit about the level of skill Voss has.
Right.
So, isn't this guy supposed to be a hunter? Boarhead gave his customary snort. Where's his shield? Does he think he's too good for one? Probably don't know how to use one, Dorlick sneered. He wouldn't be able to lay a hand on a red razor in a fight. Voss didn't look up from the knife he was inspecting. Hear that, Hunter? I reckon you probably fight worse than Songboy. Pause. Songboy is Tiernan's nickname. Continue. Is that so? The hunter's voice wasn't calm so much as completely disinterested. Tiernan winced. He knew that would only make Dorlick more agitated. Dorlick's eye twitched. Yeah, he stood up and started walking toward Voss. And you know what else I reckon? His accent started to get thicker, another sign he was agitated. I reckon you just have all those knives and threat. He was closer now, almost within engagement range. At this point, Voss's eyes looked up, but he himself didn't move. Better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them, no? His voice betrayed no emotion still, but the disinterest was now gone. Dorlick smirked, and Tiernan could tell he got what he wanted. They're nice, though. I wouldn't mind having some for myself. At this, Captain Bearmaw looked up from the maps he was poring over. This should be good, he muttered to himself. Eleanor, being aware of what was about to happen, started moving to intervene, but the captain held out his arm. What are you? She started to protest, but once again the captain cut her off. Don't you have faith in him? He set the maps aside and leaned forward, his attention now fully on the confrontation unfolding before him. I, for one, want to see this. Voss, in the meantime, had not moved from his position. There are plenty of fine weaponsmiths in the towns ahead and the towns past. He looked back down at the dagger he was polishing. If you missed your chance to buy some, you will get another soon. A flash of anger darted across Dorlick's face, only for a malicious grin to return. He darted forward and snatched the bandolier of the hunter's weapons off their resting place beside him. Voss must not have expected it, as he moved defensively. This is sloppy. Voss must not have been expecting it, as he moved defensively, expecting to be attacked himself. Realizing what happened, he relaxed again. If you wanted to inspect them, you could have asked. I will happily inspect them in my tent, Dorlick's voice, now filled with confidence, sneered. Tiernan found his stomach dropping. He knew that tone too well, and he hated it. There's no point in such fine weaponry sitting in a sheath when its owner has not demonstrated his worthiness of them. Dorlick played with the bandolier, gently caressing the sheathed weapons. You have weapons enough. Voss stood up. His motion was fluid, but Tiernan sensed a tension like a coiled spring. Return my weapons to me. You have no need for them. It is nothing about need, but want. Dorlick turned. You have no need for them either. We could supply you with weapons if you Needed them? He smirked. Tell you what, beat me in a sparring match and you can have them back. Voss glanced around. A crowd had been gathering. I have no quarrel with you. Return to me what's mine and we... Voss said this, but he didn't look at Dorlick. Instead, he continued to survey the other members of... Well, if you want them back, you gotta fight, Dorlick snapped, clearly annoyed at how this hunter... That's how we do it that's how we do it with the Red Razors. Boarhead, bring this coward a sword and shield. The company had made a ring around the pair, some pushing to get a better view. Boarhead obediently handed Voss his company-issued sword and shield. Voss looked at them, his face expressionless, then, after a moment, took them. Boarhead quickly stepped back, and without warning, Dorlick leapt forward, using his shield as a cover. He swung quickly in a horizontal slash. Voss sprang away, keeping his distance. Running, taunted Dorlick. Why am I not surprised? He quickly closed the distance and lunged low, using his shield to cover his head. Voss again danced to the side, and the sword he held struck again. A number of the company laughed at this, but to Tiernan, it seemed like something was wrong. The attack lacked something, though what exactly it lacked he didn't know. See? Dorlick's gleeful voice dripped with self-confidence. Shields are good for blocking. You would know that if you used one. He ran in again, but this time Voss didn't evade. He stepped in and rammed his shield into Dorlick's shield. Caught off guard by the sudden change of tactic, Dorlick stepped to the side, and Voss shunted his shield upward. With lightning speed, his sword shot in toward Dorlick's exposed abdomen, but Dorlick, to his credit, disengaged. Voss was now on the offensive, and quickly followed, giving... In an attempt to regain initiative...
What?
Dorlick... What?
Giving what? You cut out. Giving...
Voss was on the offensive, following quickly, gave Dorlick no room to recover. In an attempt to regain initiative, Dorlick swung in a high horizontal. In one smooth motion, Voss blocked with his shield, trapped his opponent's sword with his own, and sent the blade flying out of Dorlick's hand. Before Dorlick could recover, Voss was inside his guard and knocked him over with a strong bash of his shield. Dorlick furiously looked up, but all the color drained from his face when he saw the point of Voss's sword at his throat. The ring around was silent. Shields are good for blocking, yes, Voss said. His voice was as sedate as ever, but Tiernan thought he detected a hint to it. If you knew how to use one, I wouldn't be able to touch you. He stepped away, and the mercenaries erupted in. Voss looked at Boarhead. I'll take my weapons now. Cheater! Dorlick leapt up, his eyes bulging in fury. Again! Fight me again! That is enough. Captain Bearmaw's voice silenced all noise as his hulking frame stepped into the circle. Captain! Dorlick snapped to attention, desperately attempting to save face. This civilian beat you in a fair and legitimate duel, Dorlick. I watched. The captain walked over and forcibly grabbed the bandolier from... He played you like a cheap liar, and frankly, it was easy. He walked over, handed Voss his weapons, nodding with respect. As far as I'm concerned, you played a stupid game and won the prize you deserve. You're on muck duty for the week. But sir, Dorlick, in his angry and embarrassed state, made what was possibly the worst mistake of his life. 2 weeks, the captain roared, and if you even think of trying to find a woman in the next town, I swear you will face me next, and I will whip you naked into the next town after that in front of the entire company. Dorlick shrank back at the captain's sudden ferocity, and it was at this moment, standing next to Voss, who did not move an inch, that Tiernan realized just how pathetic and small Dorlick looked. Having delivered his discipline, the captain stood tall and looked around. Everyone, listen well. I have you spar and train because the best way to learn is by doing. But this man clearly has more experience than most of you. He studies his opponent and uses their weaknesses against them. You would do well to do the same. Otherwise, you will pick a fight with someone you can't beat. With that, he returned to his chair. The crowd dispersed, murmuring to themselves.
Very nice. Is that a recent write for you?
No, that was a while. I say a while. It was relatively recent. I shared that like a couple months ago. I think it was. It was when you were. It was when you lost power because of the hurricane.
Ah, that's why I didn't hear it. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
or I probably did, but I don't remember it well because I just edited it as opposed to hearing it live. So that's awesome. One thing I neglected to mention before we got started, we've been trying a thing where we're basically just copy pasting into a Google Doc and throwing it into the chat, and I'll scroll along with it to have it on video, still have people on screen or whatnot, but just for the future, we'll do that. But yeah, no, I love the cat and mouse back and forth stuff you do. As always, you're very, very, very good at following the mental chess game while also following the action. Not a lot of people do that. A lot of people will kind of just show the action as if you're just watching it through a camera, but your interior monologue of what's going on and the mind games that are going on in a lot of your fights are really, really smart. And you never give everything. You give just enough to show the motivations without going into the deep details, and you allow the actions to be the surprising thing instead of like, oh, I'm going to do this, and then they did it. Right? It's a really delicate balance, and I always appreciate it when I get to hear it. So other thoughts?
I mean, I've already given thoughts on this passage. Your word choice and vocabulary is absolutely impeccable. Your action is incredibly clear to follow, blow by blow. Like, I can picture the fight super well. No notes. I can't think of any possible ways to improve it. You've done excellently.
So I enjoyed it, but I have one note.
Okay.
I also need to leave everyone to go eat dinner. So much love. See you all later.
All right, man.
Goodbye.
Good night.
The
Okay.
only thing to say is that you use a horizontal strike or blow. To me, the word horizontal kind of pulls me out of the narrative. That's all I was to say. You can use like sideways instead.
Or
maybe?
lateral. Maybe the word lateral.
It just sounds like it's more technical than the rest of the scene.
Mm.
That's it.
All right.
Otherwise, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see what where you're coming at with that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The okay. That's a that's interesting because I this isn't an excuse. It's just an interesting note that like it's like, oh, this is how my family talks all the time.
That's true. Your family does talk that way all the time. Oh
No.
boy.
I think it's just because it's for me. It's anyway. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ladies, do either of you want to go before me?
So
You want to go here?
And I only say before me because I have long resigned myself to being the last one to read.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to read tonight, but I could tell you about my book, maybe.
Do it.
Whatever you want to do. Your slot. Go for it.
Because it's an old book. I published it in 2019, and to me the writing's cringy, so I wasn't necessarily going to read it. But if I could kind of like tell you about it, that would, I don't know,
Sure.
maybe it's a fun story-wise. So it's the first book of the Pizza Shop Chronicles, and it starts out with this character. His name is Christopher Wilson. He just moved to Kentucky to live with his aunt because his parents died in a car crash. He's been homeschooled all his life, and is about to attend public school for the first time because his aunt doesn't homeschool. She has a daughter who's his cousin, who's also about to start high school for the first time because she just graduated middle school. challenge for me is I didn't know anything about school whenever I wrote it because I'm also homeschooled.
Mhm.
So anything that has to do with school was just like from media and stuff. So the opening scene, basically, they just get on the bus and they're going along. The bus is going through rural Kentucky, so it's lots of hills, lots of trees. It's very, very foggy because it's early in the morning. And then it kind of like the bus grinds to a stop, and they there's obviously the fog and the trees and stuff. Give me one sec. Gotta find out where I'm at. It's been a minute. Okay, so the driver stopped in front of an overgrown driveway with a broken gate and smashed up mailbox. An old semi-Victorian style house was only just visible through the trees and fog. It looked like it must have been a grand mansion, but boarded windows and fallen chimneys made it look uninhabited. And the bus door slides open, and a really creepy kid gets on. He's like super tall, and he's got a black hoodie and stuff like that. He's also crippled, and nobody talks to him, even though he makes it a point to say like good morning to the driver and stuff. He goes all the way to the back of the bus. Chris is like, this kid's really weird. What's going on? And then the bus just continues. Everybody's completely silent all the way to school. And that's kind of where the chapter stops, with his cousin telling him, that kid's bad news, stay away from him.
Gotcha. I like the title again was of the series is Pizza Shop Chronicles. Is that what I heard?
Yes. A lot of people have referred to it as Pizza Narnia, but the title is The Pizza Shop Chronicles.
Pizza Narnia, I love it. It sounds very interesting. I've heard a little bit about what you've done just through the past couple times you've been on, and I really do want to hear more of it. I even if it's cringy writing, I feel like you, when you're comfortable, of course, you're still somewhat new to the group and whatnot, over comparatively to other folks, but like we like hearing even cringy stuff if the story's interesting, because that's like part of our job is to look through stuff and not pick it apart for main purposes, but I mean, you hear everybody here, we're pretty nice.
Yeah.
we occasionally we get a little intense about certain things or opinionated about stuff, but it's not the norm. Most of the people here are just really trying to, you know what else would be good, and kind of yes and plussing, at what everyone's doing. So I like the tone, I like the feel, I like everything I've heard about it so far. Just looking to hear more.
Yeah, that's basically just like the summary of the first chapter. I also so I used to publish it online when I was like 17, 18 as a serial. I would publish a chapter a day, so the chapters are very short, and most of them end on a cliffhanger. That's why there's like, it's just like the setup, and then dun dun, and it kind of just goes like that. The whole book does. The series is 5 books, but only one of them is actually told from Chris's point of view. And I need to tell Ian that this character is copyrighted because his name is Christopher Wilson. He does karate. He's homeschooled. And I published the book before I met Ian.
With the Wilson name, yeah.
And the karate, the homeschooling, and all that stuff.
And the karate homeschool, yeah, absolutely. No, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Oh, great.
Does he also like Conan the Barbarian by any chance?
But he's more of a Chuck Norris fan, actually.
Okay, yeah, that works. I dig that. My favorite Chuck Norris joke ever was Chuck Norris was born in a cabin that he built with his bare hands.
My sister told one. It was Chuck Norris went to the zoo. He was doing like a photo op with a bear or something like that, and he was petting the bear, and they heard a low growling sound, and the photographer said, "Now just put your hands up and slowly back away," and the bear did.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff.
The funny thing is,
Brendan or Kira? No, go ahead. Go ahead, Abby.
nothing. I was just saying, I saw Chuck Norris is actually posting his own jokes about himself now, and it's kind of interesting.
Yep. He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, he's like 80.
Yeah, he's 80 something. Yeah. It's Kyrith and Brendan, do you guys have more for her on her story? Just the premise and stuff.
Yeah, it makes me want to read it, and the whole like not knowing how to write public school. It's kind of like, well, I mean, even it's funny as like a lot of actors and stuff, like they don't know what public school is like because they get private, they get homeschooled too, a lot of them. And so it's like a lot of, I mean, they're not the ones writing it, but like a lot of, like, I remember writing, like, I've only experienced like public school, like very briefly. And like, but I wasn't homeschooled, but like, I know, I know that like what's portrayed, like school is like, I feel like never as exciting as it is in the movies, like, or never, like for where I went to school, it was like, actually there was a lot of like stuff about like not bullying, and like people are actually really nice and stuff. Whereas like in the media, you'll get like clicks and like things like that.
Yeah.
But it can make for an entertaining story. So it's like,
I tried to stay pretty light on the school angle, but at the same time, they do go to school. Like, the
Hello there.
next chapter actually introduces one of my favorite characters in the whole series, is the high school principal. So I just remember I work for a former principal now, so maybe she could help me with that.
yeah.
Sorry.
Gotcha. So Ezra or Astrid or Astrids, however you want to be addressed. Hello. You're on the Broodcast. It's good to have you here. If you just want to listen in, that's fine. If you want to speak up, that's fine. I noticed you joined the Brood Discord a little like a week or two ago, I think. It's good to have you. You can respond or not either way.
I'll just be listening.
With that, okay, there we go. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'll just listen.
Okay, sounds good. Good to have you here. So, Kyrith, you would be next if you want, or you can go last. Either way, totally up to you.
I don't want to share anything too long, but I've been trying to write this month, and I just can't get past the filter of like, but this is dumb. This doesn't make sense, and I know that I need to write it out and then have it be like, and then work on it and rewrite it and everything. But it's just like whenever I get it on paper, I'm like, this is not as cool as it was in my head. So, but I think what I might do is share. So the story that I've been really trying, that I would really like to finish at least finish a rough draft and see if it can turn into anything. Is oh shoot, I didn't even have the right one. Is the unicorn story the one where kids are enslaved by unicorns? They're not actually unicorns, but yes. It had started off as a short story that I wrote actually for a class. So, but I thought maybe if I share that, like the story has morphed from that a lot. Let's see if I can even find it. So what I would just like critique on is like, does it seem like a character-driven story is better, or should I focus?
Sort of
I don't know.
fairy tale. Yeah, something
Yeah,
kind of fairy tale. Yeah.
or yeah, I just don't know what to. I have no idea what to focus on. Oh shoot, that's not what I want. Cancel. Ah, yes. Oh, actually, can use this one. I think.
Take your time. You're doing good.
Yeah, let me see. Okay. And then how do I share it? Should I share it in the chat or?
Yeah, just in the chat on Discord would probably be best if you want me to open it and scroll through it.
Okay. Let's see. You have to help me.
The little chat button thing, the little talk bubble.
Okay, there. I got it. It's easier than I thought.
Awesome.
Well, he might not have gained permissions.
Oh.
Yeah, I do
Can you
not have
access
permissions
it?
on the permission. No, I need permissions to view that. Yep.
Oh, I can't just do the link. Okay.
Nope, you have to file, share.
Oh, okay.
Share with others. Anyone with link, copy link,
Okay.
then Control V, enter.
Okay.
Right.
There we go.
Touch 2, electric
Beautiful.
boogaloo. Done.
All right,
hit
let
done.
me just get it positioned real quick, and we'll go from there. Just see here. Okay, we're gonna scoot over just a touch, and yeah, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Okay. And there's a word muffa based, and I've actually changed that. So just,
Okay.
but anyways, the whole audience of unicorns have come to laugh at. They don't have a clue what's at stake for either side. If I win, King Valiant loses everything. If I lose, all is lost for us, and the lie will continue to hide Valiant's. The truth will be lost with Bonfire, Sparkle, Sparks, and all of the other kids who belong to their family. All the unicorns think I'm a darkling claiming to be a human. Their minds are made up. That's why Valiant was so confident when he ordered 2 days ago. Bonfire and Sparkle tried to be discreet with us as they began discovering that we are human and should not be treated like darklings. But the changes in us were unmistakable enough for Valiant to notice. Valiant had his agents round all of us up, Bonfire, Sparkle, Sparks, and us humans, up to be put to justice. I assumed we failed, but King Valiant saw an opportunity he couldn't resist that would boost his ego. I am a wise leader, he began arrogantly, and as such, I seize every opportunity to prove my intent. We shall hold a debate. Your party will argue that you young humans, and I shall argue that you are nothing more than dark, chosen by your parents as payment for the debt your kind owes us. All of us were shocked, and if Bonfire was, he didn't show it. Valiant continued, your stupidity will provide wonderful entertainment for myself. And Mr. Bonfire, he added with his ugly unicornish grin, an excellent reason to lock away 3 dangerously deceived unicorns. Very well, your majesty, Bonfire replied, ever the calm. Please explain the conditions of the debate. The ears of Sparkle and young Sparks were pinned and anxious, which was normal for them ever since they started realizing the danger of it. The audience decides who will win. He was overconfident. I began to hope. When I win, you and your family will be locked up for your foolishness, and all your dark freely to other owners, as would be the case without this. With a chuckle, he continued, theoretically, if you were to win, we would confront the Darklings for tricking us by paying with human replacements and attack them once again, this time with much less mercy. If you were truly human, we would repay. My heart leapt at the thought of defeating him. If we won, Valiant would lose all his authority. The rules during the debate are simple. Only one youngling may speak for you all, and the speaker, being a darkling, will still be expected to show proper respect. The youngest kids looked confused, but I knew exactly what he was saying. No questions allowed. Questioning authority was forbidden for a darkling. This did not sound like the fair debates I had heard the unicorns enjoy, and the realization shoved all caution from my mind. Why? My mouth shut immediately, and before I could even... Valiant reared majestically, causing me to grab onto Sparks in terror. I flinched when his heavy hooves landed with an earth-trembling stomp. Valiant was not angry, just warning. You are a darkling until proven otherwise. He chuckled again. And to give you a preview of my intelligence, if you are so certain that you... then asking questions will not be... I did my best to hide my teary eyes. He turned to address me. As your king, I choose this female to be the leader for your position. Bonfire only showed what he wanted Valiant to see for now. Respect. Behaving innocent and respectful would buy us more time to stir up trouble, and this thought stopped my tears. To free all the humans here from this lie, we've had to tread lightly. Valiant's agents had me seated before any of the spectators showed up so that they could stare at me and make judgments about me. They've heard about me by now and have come to enjoy. Some of the unicorns have brought their own darklings, not knowing that I'm trying to prove we are all human. Once the audience of unicorns has gathered, Valiant's royal announcement checks the little... I don't know if I want to keep reading.
That's fine. We can stop there.
Yeah,
we were cutting in and out a little bit, but we had the visual on screen for anyone who is listening on their ears and wants to actually see a little bit more of that. If you're summing up kind of what we're dealing with here, we sort of have, I guess, these unicorn beings, which are actually something more nefarious, essentially gaslighting these children/humans about their state. Is that correct?
Yeah. And it was, I had this whole like debate thing set up, but I was, when I originally wrote it, it was fleshed out in terms of like, and so then I had tried, in this draft, I tried to add to it, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I tried to also add the backstory of the unicorns that these kids were with. They were originally, the unicorns were evil, and then as I was talking with Brendan, I was like, I don't actually want the unicorns to be evil, because that just kind of ruins the, like, I don't know, what we, in our culture, like unicorns are this good symbol. So it still works to have fake beings that aren't actually unicorns pretend to be unicorns, because that, I don't know, that still can work with a story. But basically, yeah, it's just the short story kind of just highlighted a character who didn't realize for a while that she was human, and basically didn't realize that she was nothing more than a like slave and beast and everything, like realizing, oh, I am human, and then like trying to speak up for herself in this debate and for her friends and her family and everything. But yeah, I thought I had more into that short story, but that I was.
Well, I'm liking the vibe still. I'm definitely still liking the vibe. I love the idea. The concept is very, very interesting. It's sort of there's obviously a way different setting, but there was a movie not super long ago that was one of these based on a true stories where a woman is kept with her son. Well, she gives birth to her son in captivity from just an abuser who kidnapped her when she was like late teens or something like that, and the I believe the child's his son. But like the movie's all about her getting away, right? Like, but it's kind of framed around the child's POV, who has no understanding of the outside world whatsoever. And so this is that particular element is what this is reminding me of. You got Tangled with Rapunzel, although they play it all Disney style, it's the same thing, right? It's like being trapped and having an innocence about you because you're trapped, but it's a dark, perverted innocence that was thrust upon these characters. I think that concept is solid. I like I'm not sure the first person works. I think a very intimate and less omniscient third person might work. Especially if you come at it with like, you don't need to invent a character, but like essentially invent a voice that's almost like a grandmother telling this fairy tale to somebody, but she's going to be long-winded about it, and she's going to give you all the details about their feelings. I think that would come off super well if you could figure that out. But yeah, I think the first person thing could work, but it would be more of it feels very young adulty at that point, right? And I think figuring out the genre of what you're doing is going to be really important going forward, like you were saying.
And it's like I said, I thought I had a bit more, like I had more, like during the debate and everything, like, you know, some of the kids, like they start like chanting and like just like trying to help that kind, like, so I was like, and then her memory, like there's more memory of the other kids, but I was just like not, but the thing is that has really morphed now, and it's like, I thought, well, I'll have it not, like, I'll have the unicorns and the imposter unicorns I actually call them faux horns, and like that they're more like angels, but yeah, I guess that's the only thing I can compare them to. And then there's all these people in this wintry world that's kind of like the South Pole, but with more magic, and like different creatures and stuff. And I still really like the idea of, I think I might have changed the name. Bonfire changed to Noir because he's a black unicorn, and then Sparkle, I kept her name, and then their son's name is Greed, which I don't know if that will work out that way. But basically having those three unicorns and being this, like, until they find human adults, they're sort of the parental figures for some of the characters. And
so they're the actual benevolent ones. And but then now with the way I have things set up, it's like I don't know where to begin, because the like fake unicorns have all this like control, and basically they'll take, basically the whole point now is that like the unicorn, the faux horns pretend that they're these benevolent people taking these darklings, and they're going to transform them into I call them stairhelds, and but if they don't, they turn into woe beasts or something, something like that, and they supposedly destroy the world. But the problem is that the kids don't. So the kids are all like, they want to transform. They don't want to become a destructive monster. But if the process that causes them to become a stairheld means that they become basically they basically become puppets. They can't do anything for themselves anymore. And so that's how the faux horns keep control. Basically they're spies and everything, and they're the, like, I don't know what you would. So what's the goal of the real unicorns?
To try to help the kids. But the problem is that I haven't come up with a good enough problem. Like, for some reason they can't step into the world for very long. And the Yeti people, the Yeti folk, they have to work with the unicorns if they're even willing. I have that the Yeti folk are the most rebellious, but actually a lot of them are secretly trying to help the real unicorns, and they have some kind of magic that helps. I don't know. That
I'm liking what you're figuring out. It's going in a good direction. Abby, do you have any thoughts?
I don't know. I like the idea. I used to really, really love unicorn stories, so this is something like I'm probably interested in hearing more about. You said before whether it should be a character-driven story or a plot-driven story. For me, I would lean more towards character-driven, especially given the situation, because you have a lot of room to explore the depth of different characters and their dynamics as they try to figure the situation out. That's
The thing that still continually grabs me though is another thing that it reminds me of. You remember Gremlins?
I don't.
Okay. Basically the movie Gremlins, this is 80s movie. Basically, this guy gets this cute little fuzzy thing. I think it's a mugwort or something like that. I don't remember the name of the thing, but he gets one through various weird things in happenstance, and it's this sort of like cuddly creature that sort of kind of talks, but not really. And essentially he's given like this mystical sheet of paper kind of a thing that tells him, don't do this, don't do that, don't get them wet, don't feed them after midnight, et cetera, or they'll turn into a gremlin. And so basically it happens to a bunch of other mugworts. I think that one that he got stays, himself. But basically the gremlins go and wreak havoc, and it's just almost like an inverse of the gremlin thing, where it's like, oh, you'll turn into a creepy monster thing, right? Whatever. And so I feel like the unicorns and the faux unicorns would probably be looking at the humans in sort of like, oh, you cute little thing sort of way, but you're going to be bad, kind of, whatever the case may be. If they think they are going to be bad, or if they're trying to help, they'll be like, no, you're a cute little thing, And so I kind of like that. It's very weird to feel as a human reading the story like our race is being bless your hearted, like kind of doted upon, but also bless your heart. You stupid simple little cute things. And I know they're children, but like it's a weird feeling. You feel uncomfortable, and I think that's good, and I think it's something to lean into for the reader. So
and I thought that the human for my human characters, the thing that I wanted to have as I've morphed this into something a little bit different was that I liked the idea of these kids wouldn't know what an adult human or they haven't interacted with adult humans, so they think that they're like, I don't know. I just thought that could be really interesting. And just the fear, they really don't they feel like they don't have a lot of time, because it's like if they turn into a wildebeest, they're gonna die because like monsters, and so it's like this anguish of like they want to transform, but then the way that the other people who are trying to like transform them act is like they sometimes get the kids to transform, but like what's in the back, in the real horrific situation is that they're not actually like turning into something good, and they don't even realize it. And so it's like this horrifying, like the sort of people who are trying to transform them kind of act like they're benevolent and everything, but they're just part of this whole yeah, I don't know.
Keep cracking at it. You've got something, you know. So I'm very pleasantly like, this feels weird. I want more. So all right. This one is the first of my 2 poems tonight. This will wrap us up for the evening with these 2. Any feedback would be appreciated. Just to give a little bit of catch up. Abby, you have not heard any of my wrestling stories yet, correct? Other than the little bit that I the premise I'm working on for another wrestling story that I read yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, at this point, we have a character named Joshua Slater, also known as the Big Dog. He is a young rookie who has come to a regional federation that's, you know, on TV, and it's his first big contract. And a female wrestler named Supergirl Jessica Valero, who is kind of toward the end of her career. Women tend to have shorter careers as wrestlers, so she's, you know, mid-30s kind of a thing. And so she's been dealing with injury, but she's back, and the 2 end up through a series of events getting kind of thrown into a situation where the boss is destroying the boss is just trying to get revenge on Jessica for various reasons. He's very evil. And so he throws her in a handicap match against the tag team champions and the women's champion. And Jessica can pick one partner to help her, so it'll be 3-on-2. And the only person that was willing to do it is Joshua. So he helps her and actually gets the pin in the match in his very first match. Which is huge. He beat a tag team champion. And essentially she's like, okay, my career is kind of coming to an end. This guy is really interesting. I don't know much about him. I want to know more about him. And her fascination with just knowing more about him on a professional level is slowly giving way to, cause he seems pretty private. He's very energetic, very much, you know, great wrestler, but he's also just kind of very private outside of things. And so she's trying to figure things out. Anyway, she's gone to the school that he trained at and has been asking questions about him. Turns out he's very young. He's actually 20. He recently left North Georgia Pro Wrestling to come fulfill his contract. Nobody has really said anything bad about him. He does have a temper problem with certain specific people, but there was really mainly one guy who was known as El Gato. So it was like the dog cat thing, right? They happened to hate each other. There was no real reason behind it. We heard about a match where he left El Gato hanging. He was his tag partner. He left him hanging. And so, yeah, Jessica is now in Waffle House talking with his former trainer, Gary. Now, we do get a few flashbacks to Joshua years ago. He apparently had some kind of girlfriend that he grew up with named Anne. We don't know a whole lot about it. These are just flashbacks, sort of like just giving you snippets of his past. And we see him meet her in a sandbox when they're little kids. They go to a wrestling show and he proposes to her as they're just like young teenagers, but he proposes with a lollipop ring. And she's like, "Are you actually serious?" Like, and he's like, "Well, yeah, like as soon as we can turn 18, I'm going to be a football coach and everything's going to be great." In his senior football match, senior football homecoming thing, he gets thrown out toward the beginning of the game. He gets ejected by the referees on purpose so that he can go sit with her in the stands. And so we kind of have this flashback timeline building with this Anne thing as a secondary situation. So that catches us up. We'll go ahead and read. This is 2010. This is Gary telling Jessica this about this match in Waffle House. It's going from that perspective to a third person perspective to tell you the match, basically. So 2010, the crowd booed loudly as El Gato stalked all around the ring. Nose high and microphone in his hand, he acted like a king. You know, I won't miss this redneck crowd. You people never respected me. I'm glad that I'm leaving for Mexico, where the fans know what lucha libre should be. The crowd booed loudly, and then music hit. The crowd transferred their rage into an excited fit. The big dog ran and slid into the ring, a smile upon his face. He backed El Gato into a corner, invading his personal space. He grabbed the mic from Gato's hand as the fans began to chant his nickname. You know, I'm gonna miss this place. And then he started the game. He chopped El Gato in the chest, and the ring bell signaled their start. Joshua took complete control with several suplexes in a row. This should be just one he. He dropped a couple elbows in, and Gato's getup was slow. Gato slithered over to the ropes and sat, holding the middle one. Josh came right over and stepped halfway through the ropes, and then was completely stunned. Gato stood up and held the middle rope and pulled it against Joshua's groin. The crowd booed loudly at the cheating move, and Joshua was quickly joined by the referee, who checked on him to see if he could go on, or if he wanted to disqualify Gato. Joshua was just withdrawn. Gato slowly picked up Josh and kicked him in the face. So he picked him back up to his feet, is what I meant to say. Joshua went down like a ton of bricks, and Gato continued at that pace, hitting devastating, impactful moves with sick, almost surgical grace. But that slow pace would suddenly be the thing that bit him in the rear. As he bent over to pick Joshua up, Josh rolled him up, and the crowd cheered. 1, 2, counted the ref, but Gato kicked out before 3. But 2 butts, it just should be. Joshua held onto Gato's leg and turned so Gato's stomach would be flat against the canvas mat as he locked it in a half of the crunch. That's his finishing submission hold. He howled and pulled Gato's other leg. In Southern, he ate Gato's lunch. Gato didn't take long at all. He tapped incessantly. He didn't want to injure himself before he got to Mexico City. And so the bell rang for the last time in NGPW for these two. They stood up, breathing hard and ragged, both a lot more to do. And for a moment, the two remembered all that they had been through. They shook hands and shared a quick hug in that ring. Then they went off to pursue the fame and fortune they wouldn't find in North Georgia Pro Wrestling's halls. And in less than 30 minutes from then, Josh would leave for the Grand Ball. And then back at the diner. Later in 2010, back at the diner. Hold on. It didn't copy properly. Let me fix that. I'm going to do this. Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. Later in 2010, back at the diner, Gary says, "This is where it comes to us. Back where you met him. I hope that match tells you something of his character and the scrappy heart he holds within." So that's the first one. And we'll go straight into the second one. Let me grab that. That is here. Pop this in the chat. And you can follow along. This one's called YOY. That one was called I always name the matches what they are. This was Joshua Slater versus El Gato. So, there you are. And let me pull it over here. Okay. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. I'm trying to make it big so it shows up well on video. But yeah. 2010. But why, Gary? Why is Josh so afraid of me? I tried to be his business partner. Now I just want him to agree to be my friend. He's such a great guy. Why is he so alone? The same reason he started in pro wrestling. He doesn't have a home. His home and future were torn from him, and all dreams and plans. The reason he is afraid of being close is because of a young lady named Anne. 2008. This is right after the homecoming game thing that I mentioned earlier. After the homecoming football game, folks meandered about. They grilled out and celebrated, and there was many a shout. But quietly about the parking lot, Joshua and Anne walked around. talking about their future together, all smiles, no room for frowns. So you've got that interview as a football coach Wednesday of this week? Yep, and my uncle put in a good word. I bet I'll barely have to speak. That is so amazing. We're so close to getting hitched. Anne playfully poked her young fiancé as her eyes were lovingly transfixed. By his loving gaze and strong warm hand, she knew she was safe with him. Want to walk home tonight? The weather doesn't look that grim. Joshua paused and looked around. That's like a mile away. I know, but we should be able to do it. Let's not do that today. I had really hard practice this week, even if I didn't play in the game. Come on, don't be lazy. Let's walk home. Let's just leave how we came. Anne silently, reluctantly agreed, and they got into Josh's car. They buckled up and began to pull out, and Anne looked up at the stars. Joshua turned up the radio, and it played them a classic song. Somewhere over the rainbow, to the Wizard of Oz it belonged. But just as Joshua turned onto the route that would take them back to their homes, a speeding car with a drunk driver inside suddenly made him alone. Their car was totaled, T-boned on Anne's side. The impact sent debris everywhere. Joshua's brain was thrown about in a way he temporarily forgot every care. It took him over 10 minutes to awaken, but when he finally did, he saw Anne's body, cold and pale, with blood trickling down her forehead. His brain began to try and put it together, the pieces of this very wrong puzzle. But he found he could barely think of words, much less deal with this struggle. He heard a loud noise, but he didn't recognize and saw very bright-colored things. He soon realized they were sirens and lights, making all his senses sting. He reached over in a completely vain attempt to do something to wake up Anne. He could look at her and tell she was dead, but his mind wouldn't let him think then. Finally, a few words, garbled and broken, slipped past his bloody lips. Anne, no, my fault, no. Then Joshua lost his grip. He cried and screamed louder than he ever would, completely distraught and lost. In his mind, he'd been lazy and not walking home, and Anne's life was the cost.
Huh.
So, yeah. Came in right on the tragic part, Abby. Thoughts, feedback, and then we can wrap up tonight.
Well, it was sad.
I mean, yeah, I do sad pretty well.
Mhm. I like how you have the flashbacks so far. I mean, this is 2 of them.
Yeah. And I've been doing it up to this point, and now we're kind of finally all in one timeline. So it's been 2 episodes of this where we've had these flashbacks and stuff. So yeah, episode is about 10 poems in what I do. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then 10 episodes to a season.
Yes, you remembered. Good job.
It was last night.
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
As I said, the wrestling's not really my genre, but I like how you're doing the flashbacks. Poetry is always fun. Not a lot of people tell stories in verse these days, so it's refreshing.
Yeah.
And I like the characters so far.
I'm glad. There's going to be a lot more, obviously, as we go on, and it's very much I find anytime you do an older woman story as a romance, people tend to be very like either turn their nose up at it or like that's weird, that's different, kind of a thing. And when they write them, they don't tend to be natural. It usually is like a situation where they're kind of forced together in some kind of way or something like really strange happens. This is one of the more, and I'm not saying this for my sake because I wasn't setting out to write it this way. This is a story me and my friend role played like years ago. I was a teenager. And I basically like took it and have crafted it differently and changed things, but the core is there. The the natural nature of what the romance between Joshua and Jessica that does begin to unfold through all of this is something that is very, I don't see it often, where you have an older woman character and a younger guy, and like it's not awkward and weird beyond description. Like there's actual chemistry immediately in a weird way that they're trying to figure out and go with, but it's not forced. It's not forced upon them outside of themselves or anything like that. You know what I mean? I never hear of that. So that's one thing I like personally.
It's a dynamic that you don't see very often. I do have a cousin who is like a second, third cousin who is married to a man much younger than her, so it's not quite so weird, but still.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not. But it's not something it's not in fiction as much as real life. You know what
That's
I mean?
another point. I think people think that it's so different in real life that they kind of don't even think about it in fiction to add to fiction.
It ends up being inauthentic, you know? So.
Well, and nowadays you get some like sides of things where people are like, oh, power dynamics and
right.
It becomes political.
Yeah.
Yeah. Politicizing love is the worst.
Yeah.
Any which way. All right then. Appreciate y'all. I'm not doing send off. Well, no, I'll do a send off on Broodcast. Everybody, be your family's bard. Do not turn to the right or to the left, and the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in the trenches on Poets at War.
You too can be a part of Poets at War and the Brood. Just visit joshuadavidling.com/discord to join. We want you, soldier, to be part of the Poets at War family. For more information, visit joshuadavidling.com.